Hello and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Area iRacing's All-Star Race, live from Atlanta Motor Speedway. I'm Hunter Sleppy, your lead announcer. Joining me, as always, is executive producer Harold Darner and good old buddy Ken Kushwa. How's it going, guys?
Hey man, been a long time since I got to call one with you. What's happening with you lately?
Yeah, I'm doing the Elite Entertainment Cup Series, and I'm doing the Lodge Box Series. I see you and Harold got your own thing going on with the CNC Logging Truck Series, but, glad to be doing this All-Star Race with you, Ken.
Yep, it has been a while since we've called one together. I look forward to it.
Yep, so we're getting the qualifying started for the All-Star Open, and the Open is going to be 3 stages. So stage 1 and 2 will be 15 laps each, and the third stage will be 10 laps each. Now for this, for the All-Star Open, caution laps do not count, and all the stage winners will advance to the All-Star race, plus a fan vote from you, the viewer. It'll be down in the chat. We'll begin that for you in just a moment. In the meantime, we look at the camouflage number 9 of Paul Irvin.
He is blending right into the wall, isn't he, Hunter?
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that beard, we'd have never known who it was, would we?
First man to put up a time for qualifying, Ryan Swan in the number 1. So as always, for qualifying, the lap times will be placed from the top 10 or so on the left side of the screen, and on the top right, just below that 1 to go studio logo, will be the fastest time. Right there, as Harold points out.
Alan Ballacino came out and slapped one down at 31.8, and Collier from the Islands Mine throws down a 31.9. Swan goes around him. So how about that?
Yeah, Ryan Swan back up to second at 31.903. And we're in the ARCA cars for this All-Star race, and we haven't been in the ARCA cars or done a broadcast with ARCA cars at all this season. We kind of focused on the Cup, the Xfinity, and the truck side of things, but glad to be back in the ARCA cars and looking here at the 7 of James Scioli. I'm really looking forward to the All-Star race later on tonight. But this Open is going to be crazy, especially with no caution laps counting, so it's going to be mayhem.
These ARCA cars remind me of the old Twisted Sister NASCARs, where you could see the back end on the front right corner, you can see the back end of the left corner. They have a different setup than what we're used to seeing on a weekly basis.
Yeah, the skew on these cars are different than what we see regularly through area. Now we see the 7 rolling through the bottom. Ken, what's the general consensus of where the car should be at? Do more drivers prefer the top, the middle, the bottom? Because this is old Atlanta.
So this is old Atlanta. If I remember correctly, if you wanted to go fast at old Atlanta, you wanted to stay down towards that white line. You think back to the days when the Labanis ran it, the brothers Labani, and those guys were really good at that track. And if I recall, since I was a Bobby Labani fan, he loved to be down low. This I would say the configuration's probably going to be feeling a lot different than what these guys have run, and they ran it just recently on the new setup, didn't they?
Yep,
a couple weeks ago. So I don't know. I mean, qualifying's not going to show us anything, but when they get running and they're pushing it, someone's got to try to that top. But I don't remember back in the day, Hunter, the top being the best spot.
No, towards the bottom, and this was before they repaved the track in the mid 2010s. They called it Harvicking. So
yeah,
Kevin Harvick would absolutely paint the picture of what a car is supposed to look like down on the bottom, right next to that apron.
Yep. Oh, he would destroy it too.
Master of doing that.
He sure was. I remember that. And again, we talk about it. They're using the ARCA cars tonight, so they're also going to run different than, say, if they were Cup cars. So the Twisted Sisters might be able to go a little higher.
Yeah, it could be. So we have about 15 seconds left in our qualifying session, and Ricky Harn's just going to leave it up in the wall and wait for that timer to hit all zeros, and then we'll get our All-Star Open started. So obviously, fuel won't be a big concern. We're looking at 55 to 60 laps for the fuel window, but tires will be a factor. And we will have cautions out there at the end of the stages. So stage 1 will be 15 laps, stage 2, 15 laps, stage 3, 10 laps. So drivers have 2 sets of tires to use during this open. And now let's get to your starting lineup. On the pole, it's going to be Alan Balancino and Colin Fambro. Row 2 going to be Rafe Slate and Eric Weiland. Row 3, James Skyerly and Ryan Swan. Row 4 is going to be the 98 car of Hunter Collier and Tyler Sifford. And then row 5 is going to be Paul Irvin and Forrest Smith.
All right, row number 6, row number 6, Tyler Nichols and Travis Beckner on the outside in the 16. Row number 7, Dwayne Culberson and Jordan Martin. Row 8 is Charles Caneda, and on the outside, Chris Seidenfaden. Corcoran on the inside in the 22 in row 9, and Adam Capps in the outside there. Row number 10 is Bryce Senesac, I hope I say that right, and then Brian Dixon on the outside in the 33.
Oh, you 100% pronounced that right.
Nice.
And then we got AJ Roderick and Bobby Tinch in row 11, row 12, Ricky Harden, and the number 4 car of Matthew Corcoran. Then row 13, Ed Morris. Yeah, Cochran. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Row 13 going to be Ed Morris Sr. and then the 15 car of Logan Hartman. Our very own Jacob Bell is in row 14 with the 41 car of Pierce Moffitt, and Jacob Hudson and James Coey rounding out our All-Star Open field. 30 cars slated, but only 3 can make it by winning.
You know what's funny, Hunter, is we've got different drivers from different series. I'm used to some guys. You're used to some guys. It makes for an interesting time running through a lineup, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. A lot of familiar faces in here. Going back to the ARCA days with drivers like Sean Corcoran, Bryce Senesac, Bobby Tinch. Looking through some more. Even Travis Beckner, because Beckner was a late one last year in season 1, and he's flourished so far in season 2.
He sure has.
But he's got some work to do if he wants to get up and into the All-Star race, the main event. He's starting 12th, and as we mentioned, only 3 drivers can make it in by winning your respectful stage.
Or
Caution
voting
laps
it.
do not count. Or voting it. Well, yeah, 4 in total.
Guys.
3
Yep.
can only get in by winning, and then 1 will be decided by you, the viewer, at home.
Dom DeLeo's checking in. Fasicus Motorsports. Joe Darnell is there. Skeleton Trav. All of those guys are already on. If you're listening to us and you haven't shared it, I don't know why you haven't, but you need to share it. Get your family and friends watching as well.
Well, the pace truck's about to pull a hard left on the pit road. Glad you could join us for tonight's All-Star Open as we go green flag from Atlanta.
Chaotic start there, Hunter.
Oh, absolutely. That outside lane never seems to really go, whether it's the initial start or the restart from Atlanta.
And I would imagine some of these cars are going to be slightly loose when they're going down into 1 and 2 and then down into 3 and 4 too until they get up to speed.
Yeah, it'll take about a lap or so for these cars to get up to speed. So we're seeing early on, Alan Balancino going to come off the corner and lead the first lap of stage 1.
Like there was a little love tap there between Fambro and Wineland back there in 4th and 5th.
Yeah, that's where the nearest battle is, 4th and 5th. Then a little further back, got some more side-by-side action.
We talked about Travis Beckner. He hasn't really moved at all. He's still in 10th. So as you said, you know, you only have so many laps to get up there. And
Oh,
there it is again.
Oh, got some loose cars
Yeah,
and they're
he's not gonna hold
colliding
it.
in the tri-oval.
How about that?
That's the 54 of Colin Fambro going in the grass. A caution did not come out for that. Boy, you knew something was going to happen with the way those cars were swerving coming out of turn 4.
Yeah, Wineland was on the outside of him, and they were banging before, so I'm not surprised at all that just happened.
That's just hard racing right there because they're sitting 4th and 5th, and they're trying to get up to that number 1 spot that Balancino still sits in. Unfortunate for the rest of the field that it carried itself to the inside of the racetrack and not back on the outside because we for sure would have had a caution.
I was about to say, if they went the other direction, you're guaranteed you're going to get a caution. And a couple cars that are banged up, too. There you see a good battle back there in around 6th and 7th with Collier, Sifford, Beckner, and Seidenfaden.
And then the one of Ryan Swan.
5:30:50. Wow. Ryan Swan decides he's going to jump in. I know. I apologize. I'm used to you on there. So if anybody wonders, I'm talking to myself, okay? Hunter's now worried that I've lost my mind.
No, you're good. You're good. Harold's in the producer ear, so we can hear him. The viewer at home cannot. He's feeding us information. Like Tyler Sifford having the highest I rating in this field with a 53.50. He's running. Well, he just lost a spot to 7th. In a battle with Seidenfaden for that spot.
Joe Darnell chimed in.
Oh, contact right there. Close to it. Seidenfaden and Sifford going at it for the 7th spot.
There you see, Hunter, we talked about it. Some of these guys are using that upper lane to get momentum. Right there, you see the 16 coming in. Travis Beckner, who we talked about. Yeah. Boy, he really used that for momentum, but he had nowhere to go once he got there.
Absolutely, with Atlanta being as old as dirt, the Bruise has. You can race anywhere. You can race the bottom, the middle, the top. Really, such a fascinating racetrack this is.
Yeah, the old setup is certainly a great setup for this, for these type cars to be able to do the things they do. And again, since they're already twisted, it makes for an interesting time.
Over here, we got Bryce Senesac and Dwayne Culberson battling for the 14th spot. Culberson trying to join the All-Star race with his teammate Jake Nichols in Solar Flare Racing. Nichols won the 2nd race of the season in the Elite Entertainment Cup Series, and he's got 3 wins on the year, the most by any driver in that series.
That's why they pay Hunter the big bucks, because he knows things not everybody knows. Jordan Darnell, I was trying to say it before, and I'm sorry. The Alaskan Assassin is not here. I'm upset, Joe. I'm upset because I love the Alaskan Assassin, but missed an Anna Sogok tonight.
Boy, we got a close battle right here for the 4th spot. That's Seidenfaden on the bottom, Ryan Swan on the outside. They're going to close in on each other, nearly make contact. Ryan Swan representing a San Diego Padres paint scheme on that number 1 of Rick's Hot Sauce.
I like it.
Yeah, he's proven to have a fast car. He's running in the 4th spot now. He's trying to get up to the bumper of James Scioli, who currently sits in 3rd. Meanwhile, in the back, we got Brian Dixon in a battle with the 55 of Adam Capps.
It's like we got a Jacob Hudson never really got going. He's still in the pits, sitting there. He's 5 laps down, so his night might be over, so to speak. Oh, this gaggle of cars looks like fun.
There is Dwayne Culberson there sitting in 15th, and right in front of him is Tyler Nichols. It's actually Jake Nichols' brother, running in the 14th spot. And there's the battle for 4th continuing to go down between Seidenfaden and then Ryan Swan. Oh, car in the wall back there. Forrest Smith getting into the outside wall over there in turn 2.
Marbles are a problem when you get too far up there.
Oh, absolutely. He's keeping that car to the outside, trying to stay out of harm's way.
Yep.
For the rest of the field, and looks like he'll be able to make it safely on the pit road. Meanwhile, we've got 5 laps left in this first stage. Now there's where Eric Wineland resides, sitting in 27th after the early contact, running inside the top 5 with him and Colin Fambro.
So that front wheel doesn't seem to be working properly right now.
Yeah, I'm not a mechanic, but I don't think it's supposed to do that.
I don't even play one on TV.
A little more rotation there on that right front.
You would like to think so. All right. Does Slate have enough? 3 to go. Does Slate have enough to get Balancino, who's been leading the whole time?
Well, Balancino's just trying to paint that bottom like Kevin Harvick, like we talked about in the pre-race, Harvicking that bottom groove. You want to get as low as you can down on that white line.
It's a good view here of if he's gaining momentum or not. And then you see he can't hold it down quite as
but
much up
Balancino
front.
was sliding up the track a little bit.
Yep.
No, but he got a better run on the exit of that corner. Now 2 to go.
I think it goes back to the old one where loose is good on these cars.
Loose is fast.
Yeah,
yes.
Loose is fast. So I mean, the back end might be sliding, but again, they're twisted to begin with. So Loose is probably fast.
Much as Rafe Slate would like to just win and get it out of the way here, he knows he's got a fast car. I think he's just saving up whatever he's got left and possibly setting up for the second stage, as the white flag is out for stage number 1. Actually, no, that's the caution.
Is that turning a little early?
Well, the white flag was out, but the caution came out as well. So I believe we might have a 1-lap dash to settle out the first stage, because remember, caution laps do not count.
Do not count, right?
So we're looking to see what the cause of the caution was. There's the 66 of Bobby Tinch there on the bottom. It's right in front of Jacob Bell.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's going to get up and into the outside car. Oh. No, everything.
He got loose. He held on.
Oh, no, right there. Contact right there.
Wow.
The white car into the outside wall. And drivers are going to pit now. So this is not the end of the first stage. Drivers are making their way onto pit road as we speak.
As much as Bobby Tinch did not want to do that, he makes a good move to anybody who's behind him, Hunter, because you watch him literally start to go down and turns right. And that saves a lot of cars that are going to come behind him. So he's going to get pushed down here. They both go loose. You see him sliding. Somehow he makes this next turn. Look at that. And then goes up to the wall. Thank goodness.
It looked like...
Yeah. I mean, it's not showing that they touched, but maybe they did.
It looked like he got into the 29 car right there. But nonetheless, the caution coming out. And with the caution laps not counting, we're set up for a 1-lap dash to settle out who will win stage 1 and advance into the All-Star race. And so scoring, if the scoring seems a little odd, it's turned off because the caution laps do not count. So there's going to be reset when the field takes the green flag. And in the meantime, in our chat, our poll question has opened for the All-Star race. We're looking to find where Travis Beckner is at on the track, because the question is, will Travis Beckner race his way into the All-Star race?
Not currently where he's sitting.
No, I believe he might have come down pit road. That number 16 car did.
Yep.
So the answers are obviously either yes or no. And how to bet, you can type in !bet, yes or no, and then however many channel points you have.
So someone is going to steal this by not pitting, I have a feeling, or at least attempt to steal it this first stage and get in.
Don't be afraid to use some of your channel points and decide whether Travis Beckner or not will make it into the All-Star race.
I don't know if I want to jump in or not. I'm like back and forth.
Well, just remember, your channel points can go towards winning free items, such as an Area iRacing sticker, a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, or even an Apple iTunes gift card. But it's limited quantity in every single one. So you want to get as many points as you can and grab them while you can.
Oh, One to Go Studios bet. Okay, I'm not under mine. So there you go. Harold, I bet for us.
Now, typically you can bet anywhere between 5 to 100 points, but because this is the All-Star weekend, You can bet anywhere from 10 channel points to 10,000 channel points. So that is why Ken decided to go all in with 500 points. Oh, no, he will not make it.
What? I did what? That's Harold.
Oh, it was Harold. Oh, okay. That is true, Harold. You are. All right, so
Dodging.
we're gonna have a one-lap dash here to sell out the stage 1 winner. So Alan
Did I do something
Balancino.
wrong? My bet didn't go through. Did I do something wrong? Huh? Did I?
Oh, you didn't type in exclamation point. You did.
Where
the
in the
letter
St.
L.
Francis am I supposed to put an exclamation? Oh, I put.
Well,
Never
while
mind.
Ken tries to figure it out, the pace truck's
Never
in
mind.
and the green flag is back out at Atlanta.
Everybody knows I'm an idiot. It's fine. We'll let it go. All right. So Slate has a chance here to steal it with that one lap shootout. Balancino has basically led the whole thing. Although, like you said, Hunter, if Slate doesn't get it this time, he's been dominant enough that he could probably get it in the next time around.
I was saying, he's got to run down the back, but is it close enough to make a move? He's going to try and get to the bottom. Oh, they're both sliding up, but it's not going to be enough.
I do not think he has the momentum.
Hold on and win stage 1.
All right. Now those guys that pitted just before, they are now set prime to try to steal it this time around.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm giving it another shot, so shush everybody's face.
Dom DeLeo going ballistic in the chat. One of his drivers making it into the All-Star race along with himself, part of Fazekas Motorsports. And we've actually caught up now with Alan Balancino. Alan, this is Hunter, Harold, and Ken in the booth. You got a copy.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, we're doing good. Kind of didn't expect a one-lap dash to sell it out, but your car was fast. Take us through what that was like for 15 laps at Atlanta.
Honestly, the last lap was the scariest part. I'm kind of lucky Rafe was behind me because I took that a little bit slower than I was expecting to, and he kind of let me go. So I appreciate that from Rafe. I felt like I had a pretty good run there, though. Honestly, I'm pretty comfortable with this track, surprisingly.
Oh, absolutely. You led every single lap, and that last lap did get a little squirrely there, but I think Rafe Slate was thinking of the bigger picture and was just going to settle and wait for the second stage. Ken, any questions?
No, I just wondered. I mean, you kind of touched on it. I was just wondering how the car feels, how you feel like you're going to do in the big race. Do you think you got a piece that can go after it tonight?
I certainly hope so. That's my first full race run on this car, but honestly, the tire was just plowing tight for me. It's the biggest thing, so I'm gonna have to run differently. I was kind of killing it in 3 and 4. I should have been running way lower. I mean 1 and 2, I should have been painting that white line, and I wasn't. So my tires were not going to be there. It's the biggest thing.
All righty, well, we'll let you go and get prepared for that all-star race that you're about to take part of in just a moment. Congrats.
Thank you.
All right, that was Alan Balancino. And now we see some more drivers coming down pit road. Oh, that was good, Harold, because I almost moved you out. That would have been nuts. So there's our very own Jacob Bell coming down pit lane.
The captain is getting his servicing done.
Absolutely. And the pace truck pacing the field, James Scioli, looking to be on the front row.
Yeah. I mean, so again, Travis Beckner also went down, so he doesn't have to go back any. And I would imagine at 15 laps, they're going to be able to use these tires. And
well, yeah, some of these guys that pit when the caution came out before the end of the stage, when the first caution came out, they're using one of their 2 sets of tires, so they're setting themselves up for a decent start here in stage 2. But
absolutely,
for how long the run goes, I mean, it might hurt them on the longer run. We've seen just how big of a difference 5 laps is on a set of tires in Atlanta.
Well,
just a couple, that's going to be crucial.
Yeah, I was going to say, Hunter, if you can get out and get a good lead it may not matter because if somebody's pitting now, they're going to be way back there. But if you can get out there, get clean air, and just start driving away, I mean, nobody had anything for the winner, Balancino, when he was out front. So that might play a role in it as well. Open out in the fresh air, cars just going, hair blowing in the wind, so to speak.
We continue to pace our field. Running for stage number 2, want to give a big thanks to Swift Lifestyles for their support of Area iRacing and their coverage for tonight's All-Star Open. Fans, be sure to visit our sponsor, Swift Lifestyles, for clean supplements that can help improve your focus and gaming. You can use the discount code on your screen, Area iRacing, AREA iRacing, for 15% off any order. So we're awaiting stage 2 to begin, and it looks like James Scioli and Tyler Sifford will be on the front row for that. Ken, early thoughts before we go green?
Bottom, as Balancino just said, bottom is a fast way around. Some of those guys were using the top to kind of gain momentum coming off, but it didn't seem like they could hold it going down the back stretch and the front stretch or front area. So I don't know. I still think the big race is going to play out a little differently because of the 100 laps, but these guys are definitely putting in an effort right now.
Oh, absolutely. And it looks like they're all doubled up. So we'll begin the green flag next time by.
Watch this pace truck jump.
And watch,
I mean, you want to talk
the
about
bottom
a hard turn. Yeah, you want to talk about a hard turn. Yeah, he just rips it and jumps.
It doesn't matter. Everywhere we go, that pace truck just has a hard left turn.
Mm-hmm.
No matter where we go.
No, it does not matter.
I don't think we touched up on the weather because it's looking pretty sunny out, and the track it's always hot and slick in hot Atlanta. So we'll take a look at that. Presented by Lottie'sTravelWorld.com. It's partly cloudy. Air temp 89, track temp 122 degrees, humidity 54%, and it's windy down there. And
Flicker than snot on a brass doorknob right there. Let me tell you what, 122 is hot.
It's going down now to 10 miles an hour. Just
there
like
it goes.
Down pit road. So Scioli and Sifford leading the field back to green flag racing here in Atlanta.
And again, the advantage of being down low, as you said before, you can get that jump, Hunter, and that upper lane just cannot seem to get a kick like the other guys do.
As we see the field working their way through turns 1 and 2, and now down the backstretch.
This group way in the back.
Sifford.
I'm sorry, group way in the back. There's some guys that are on fresher tires. Should be interesting to see how they come up through there too.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see those guys that were fast in stage 1 try to work their way up to the front in stage 2. Side by side now for third, it's Paul Irvin and Chris Seinfeld. Paul Irvin is the camouflage car near the wall. Oh, and spinning, getting loose down there. I believe that's Travis Beckner.
That's Travis Beckner. Yeah, he's pushing it hard. And
we got a caution. Caution on the track. Looks like it happened a little further back in the field. We'll take a look at our one to go replay and look at what exactly brought out the caution. But boy, that was a great caution there for Travis Beckner.
Harden and Hartman.
Yep. So it looks like Ricky Harden and Logan Hartman were a part of this caution. Right there, just getting into the wall in turn 2, and oh wow.
He sure did have help. Tell us straight for us, Harold.
So that's the 11 of Jordan Martin. Right there. It's going to make contact with the car right next to him, which is Logan Hartman.
He's going to hit him there.
There's Harold.
And then where's he going to go after that, Harold? He's going to go there.
Right into the wall. And there's the 54 of Fambro nearly getting into that as well. Boy, Colin Fambro cannot seem to stay out of harm's way.
He really can't. Bless his heart. I mean, you want him so much to get a clean shot, but he does have a time trying to stay out of there. Rowdy Burns. Gary, what's up? All right. Well, I'm glad he's chiming in since he's locked in.
Yeah, Gary Lewis is indeed locked into the All-Star race. That is who Rowdy Burns is down in the chat. He was one of the Championship 4 drivers from last year's ARCA series, in which Gary Lewis is the only driver who has yet to win a race that's locked into the All-Star race. He got
It's
in.
coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
He got into the championship 4 from consistency, had 3 top 5s, 10 top 10s, just able to keep the car out of the wall and on the track, and he put himself in a position to win the championship.
You know what, Hunter? I think you ought to be Larry Mack. You have all the information
no.
Larry Mack has. Are you kidding me? You could probably tell me what pressure he ran like three races ago. You are the man. That's all I'm going to say. You're the man.
On Monday and Thursday, Harold puts on the crew chief hat.
I hear you, but I can tell you what I put on a Tuesday. That's right. I put on quite a hat on Tuesday, but you all don't want to know what kind.
You probably have like a dunce hat.
No, but you know what? I should get one now that you mention it. I do have a collection. I can go from anything, from Cushwall Brewery to WVU to MR Ducks.
Seem like you have a fedora.
I don't have one. I should have one. I have a driver cap. The tight cap, like the AC/DC guy Brian would wear. I have one of them. I used to have a cowboy hat, but that thing got lost. All right.
Yeah, it looks like we'll be getting the one to go this time by for the field. They work their way through the track under caution. Once again, a reminder, these caution laps do not count. And
Well, he EOL'd himself completely out of the race, so he is no longer connected, according to what I'm seeing. Yep. So Bobby Tinch is disconnected. Alan Balancino, only because we know where he is, waiting for the big race, and then Ricky Harden.
all right, so now we'll see the field double up here as they cross the stripe, and the lights on the pace truck will turn off.
I'd like to see somebody seriously get a good jump on that outside one time.
Oh, absolutely. I would love to see it too.
Because I'm just wondering, Hunter, if they take that down into one, side by side, does the momentum at this point carry him through and he can get around and clear? Because that outside on that high.
It's going to be tough because where the leader goes, they go right as soon as you get into that quad oval. Now, it's not like a traditional tri-oval that we see at 1.5 miles like Kansas. It's got a quad oval like Charlotte. So it's more of a steep turn than a solid curve. And
That's
the leader
true.
goes at the apex of that first turn in the tri-oval. Quad oval. One of the two. And once again, the 7 of James Skyley going to choose the bottom. Tyler Sifford going to be on the outside with Simon Fine, Irvin, Senesac, Beckner, Tyler Nichols, Culberson, and Eric Weiler running out the top 10 as we go back green in Atlanta.
Did not get the jump this time at all. 7 got a beautiful jump, but the outside did not get a jump.
Oh, contact made between Simon Fine and Paul Irvin. That's going to allow the 09 of Bryce Senesac to look underneath for that 4th spot, or he's going to slide up.
Whoa. Beckner
That's Travis
on the outside.
Beckner.
Yep.
Hey, he is wheeling it. He's got to finish 5 spots better than where he's at right now. I will have to ask Jake that.
That's a good question. Good question.
Actually,
okay.
yes, because it's races way in. Yes. No.
I'm going to drop
That's Eric
a coin.
Weiland getting loose and nearly clipping the wall back there, coming through turn 2. He's trying to work his way back inside the top 5 where he was initially from stage 1. It's Travis Beckner trying to keep that car from going backwards. Moving into the 5th spot, taken away from Bryce Senesac. But up front, it is still James Scarley leading the way with 10 laps to go. However, Chris Scienfine just posted the fastest lap of 31.906. He's running in fourth, working that top and trying to. Oh, he's
he
working it
just
too
worked
much. He's
himself
into the wall.
Yep.
Beckner's getting loose right underneath him. Here comes the 09 of Senesac to the outside with Dwayne Culberson.
Heck of a reaction by Beckner, because that could have been ugly for both of them.
And look who's right behind Culberson. It's Eric Wineland.
Yep, he's pushing hard.
Boy, all kinds of side-by-side action here from Senesac on back. Really bottlenecking everyone here.
Eric Wineland's going to take that high line and see what he can do with it. Build some momentum, maybe. Beckner seems to be all over the place right now. I don't think the back end of his car is very happy right now. It does not look like it.
No, we have said that loose is fast, but wrecking loose does not equal fast. It just equals wrecking loose.
Yeah, that's a good point.
As Eric Wineland works his way around Dwayne Culberson and into the top 5. There's Travis Beckner right behind him, trying to follow his footsteps on that outside line.
A lot of tight racing.
Boy, you'll hold your breath every time they go through turn 2.
Goodness.
Because of how wide they take that turn. And we've already seen a caution there just a few moments ago. So if it happens once, it can happen again.
That Burger King car, I keep watching him. He seems to be up and down and up and down. Oh, there he goes.
And taking it down. We got a car down in the grass.
He's going to come up, I have a feeling. Did not. Still
It
wrecking
did not
down
trigger
below.
a caution. They're still going. There is that Burger King car that Ken was talking about, but a little further back, that is one of the cars there that kept it straight and going green, and I believe that is the 12.
Which does not match up for us.
Now, some of these drivers have different numbers on their car than what it shows on the ticker, so trying to figure out which driver that is. In the meantime, they are still going at it. We do know what car that is. That is Sean Corcoran in the 22, as we mentioned. Ran the ARCA Series last year. Car stood out more than anyone in the field.
Is that who that is?
That is Rafe Slade, actually. Man, think about it. Rafe Slade almost won stage 1, but he backed out of it getting ready for stage 2, and now it looks like he's going to have to be getting ready for stage 3. Now he's going to need a miracle.
Yeah, now he's going to need a miracle.
In the meantime, up here, got a similar battle, almost like stage 1, with James Scholarly leading and Tyler Sifford right behind. And not too far behind is the 9 of Paul Irvin.
I was going to say, Paul Irvin has been slowly and surely, methodically clicking away at these guys. And Sifford seems like, he's got 4 laps to kind of do it, where the last time he only had 1 lap to do it. So Scioli's going to have a little bit of a...
and into the wall is Sifford. He was trying to get a run on the outside, and they carried too much into the outside wall. It's going to allow Paul Irvin to pull down low and make the move for second.
How about that?
Some drivers can make it stick, and some push it to the limits, and he pushed it to the limits of that outside wall.
He's still fast.
He's still going at it with Paul Irvin. He's not giving up without a fight.
Now, this will allow Scioli to kind of drive away.
Oh, yeah, he's driving away. He's loving what he's seeing in his rear view mirror right now.
He's saying, have at it, boys. I'm going to leave you behind.
And they're having at it back here for fourth between Bryce Senesac and Eric Wineland. And the 45 of Chris Scienfine, who got into the outside wall a few laps ago.
Wineland jumping into the top 5 into 4th or 5th or 4th or 5th. That time he's swapping. 5th. That's right.
Yep, the Altoona native trying to get around the 09 and Senesac. Boy, they are really working that outside line.
It's coming in. It's certainly coming in a lot faster than I thought it would. That's close. That's tight racing right there.
It is close. He's going to lose 5th to Scienfine, who's now going to look to move up another spot. They're dead even for the spot going through turn 4.
He's going to come. Yeah, I was going to say, I thought he would pull himself up. He did not, though. Wineland's going to come to his outside and kind of draw himself up to him. And if you wonder what it looks like underneath his car, that's what it looks like.
And in the studio, that's Eric down on the bottom left. Now, one of the many things he does is tilt his head down whenever he's in the corner, so he's always keeping straight, and that is a bump if I've ever seen one to the 09 of Senesac. So he's looking to get a run on that top, and he's trying to push the 09 to get him far in front so he can get around Seidenfein.
I gotta hand Chris Seidenfein some props. I mean, he has hung down that low line and really has not given up that spot. I mean, it's back and forth.
And that was the end of stage 2. That is why the yellow is out. It was all James Scioli after Tyler Sifford got into the outside wall. He had a comfortable margin of about 1.2 seconds. So James Scioli, the second driver to lock himself into the All-Star race by winning a stage in the All-Star Open.
I would say he answered our question too, Hunter. You get out there in clean air, you tend to do okay.
Oh, absolutely. And we already saw what the driver behind will try to do. If they can't get going on the bottom, they'll try the top, but gotta be careful, otherwise you'll put it into the wall. And here's stage 2 winner, James Scioli. James, Hunter, and Ken in the booth got a copy.
Yep, I got you guys.
Boy, what was the call there on pit road? Because it seemed like Rafe Slate was going to set himself up for a stage 2 win, but you pitted earlier before that initial stage caution came out. Take us through what the decision process was like.
Yeah, I wanted to pit before so that I could try and get track position after. It worked perfectly. I was hoping that it would kind of be an even split of people pitting and people staying out. So I was able to be first off pit road with new tires, which is exactly what I wanted. And then I was able to hold on to it for the first, or for just that one lap shootout there. And then everybody in front of me dove down pit road and I was able to take the lead and kind of drive away. So worked out perfectly. I was a little worried it wasn't going to, but it worked.
Ken, any questions for our stage 2 winner?
Absolutely. So we were talking about it during between the break between the first and this stage you just won. Outside and clean air, is that where you want to be on this track right now?
Yeah, for sure. Everything's just a little bit easier when you don't have another car in front of you, putting air on you and taking your line away and everything. So that's why I was third that first stage, and I was trying to run the outside and they were just in my line. So I was trying to run the outside and ended up burning off the tires and couldn't keep up with them. So luckily, once I was able to get the lead, I could run where I wanted to, save the tires and kind of pull away there towards the end.
Excellent. Well, Thickopotamus says, proud of you, James. So you got a first-time chatter there being proud of you. So good job.
Thanks, guys.
All right, well, we'll let you go, James, and prep up for the All-Star race. And as Ken mentioned, Thickopotamus loving what he's seeing, the 7 of Scioli winning stage 2. And now he'll get set for the All-Star race. So that means we've got 10 laps left in our All-Star Open. Only one driver can win the last stage in order to make it to the All-Star race. We do have a fan vote.
We've lost quite a few to logging out too. Adam Capps is now gone. Logan Hartman's gone. Ricky Harden, Valancino, of course, has moved up. Bobby Tinch and Forrest Smith. So we're losing some people here, Hunter.
Indeed, and that's going to open up the door for drivers like Sean Corcoran to restart up front. Now, this is an interesting move here. Some of these drivers we have yet to talk about. Definitely one of them being Corcoran. He's kind of been mid-pack in this race, but it's just, trying to get a feel for the car. It's been a while since he's been inside one of the ARCA cars, but he's shaping up to restart as the leader. Now, that is already an advantage in itself because the leader always chooses the bottom, and the outside lane always gets stacked up.
15 laps on tires, though, Hunter.
That is a risk that he's willing to take.
Yep. I mean, it's a 10-lap shootout, and I guess if I'm in his position, if I think I can hold it, I'm going to try it too.
Yeah, it looks like everyone behind him has pitted. So, yes, he is staying out with 15-lap-old tires. He does have a set left, but he's not risking to use the set.
I don't blame him.
All of his chips in.
Yeah, I don't blame him. If you're trying to get into the All-Star race at this point, you're going to do what you got to do. Whether he can hold it or not is the question. All right, so just a thought here, Hunter. You know, it's as if we have like someone speaking to us, but keep an eye on if the 22 can hold on. Otherwise, he may end up into the 9. If he goes up into the 9, that's going to cause quite a chaos behind them, because as we all know, at that start, they're all jumbled up. One wrong turn, and you could take out half the field.
Yeah, it's looking
That's
like
bold.
the 22 of Corcoran has actually chosen the outside lane, so he's
Well, then he's going to
obviously-
hit the wall in that case, Hunter.
he's obviously trying to not cause too much harm because he knows what he's doing. Everybody else behind him is pitted. He's on 15-lap old tires. But this will be interesting because he is on older tires. That outside lane does not go, but he is the control car, so the inside lane got to stay back. Let
Gotta
the
wait till he
22
hits
car
launches.
roll. And the pace truck making the hard left turn on the pit road. 10 laps left in the All-Star Open. Green flag back out in the air here in Atlanta.
Excellent jump. But now he has to do something when he gets down here, and I think Irvin's going to have something for him down here, way down low.
Yeah, Paul Irvin down on the bottom, looking for that lead from Sean Corcoran, trying to stay in it on the outside lane. Tyler Sifford right behind. 3 wide behind these top 3. It's Eric Weiland looking to get past Chris Seidenfeiden, but Paul Irvin moving into the lead. Tyler Sifford into second. Corcoran up the track. Now here comes Eric Weiland down on the bottom.
Yeah, I was going to say, keep an eye on Wineland. I have a feeling he's gonna focus, laser focus, and try to get up there as quick as he can, make as many moves as he can, and not let them get away.
Paul Irvin carrying that momentum off turn 2 and down the backstretch. Car sideways in the back, looking like he's spinning to the inside wall, keeping it straight for the moment. No caution. Here comes Tyler Sifford trying to get a run on the outside.
Yep.
Irvin's going to slide up.
All that's going to do is allow Eric Wineland to tighten up too.
Oh, and there's the caution.
Yep.
Caution out on the racetrack.
Harold's
We'll
on.
take a look at our 1 to go replay. This is another white car.
These camouflage cars are hard. Cochran. Oh, right in front of him. Oh, I'm way down. The car coming up now. Oh.
Oh, that's Dwayne Culberson in 81 there.
Yeah, you can see his tires is banded to his car.
The tire's off the car. It's on the hood. So obviously an incident there in front of Cochran. There is the tire there circled by Harold.
Harold in his
Circled
Wonder
even
Pen.
more.
Wow. I forgot ARCA has those things.
Yeah, it's interesting to see because we saw that. Well, not we, but I've seen this the last couple of nights and just some of the drivers doing fun races. And the tire will come off and it'll stay on the hood.
Oh, okay. Hunter can do that.
Yeah, I'll do that, Ken. So what Harold just said, they do all the beta testing for the damage model, the physics behind it with the ARCA car.
So here's the problem with Harold being in my ear and not in everybody else's ear. This is Tuesday night. So typically it's the two of us talking about anything and everything. Usually I'm listening to Harold eat or something like that. Like I know when he's eating and when he's not eating. Like now it's like he's in my ear and I'm like, I feel like my head, you're in my head. and that's not a safe place to be. Nobody wants to be there.
Harold said, "I'm not in your ear, I'm in your head." That is the perfect way of putting it.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'd be scared up there.
Oh, that's our very own Harold Darner. The field looking like they're going to double up here. The lights might be going out on the pace truck. They are not out, so we'll be going one more time before we get the one to go and going back green.
Sets up perfectly for Wineland. If he can find a third lane, and I don't know where it is, if he can find a third lane, this sets up well for Eric Wineland.
Yeah, that'll be interesting because Wyland, obviously, it looks like he's got a fast car. He was inside the top 5 for stage 1. Him and Colin Fambrough made contact on the front stretch, which did not trigger a caution, so that kind of put him in the back. And then he spent all of stage 2 working his way back towards the top 10, and now he finds himself sitting in P3 in stage number 3. Yeah, he only got into the grass there on the front stretch, so no real damage to the 21 car, and he's looking to race his way into the open. And if he does, Ken, that would be pretty remarkable considering what he had to do to get back up here.
I agree. And hey, look, you can't count out the 45 either. Seidenfaden has been up there. He just can't figure out a way around, but he's certainly going to put the hammer down too.
And so now the field will work their way down the front stretch again. And I believe this time we'll get the one to go.
There they
the
go.
lights will go out on the pace truck, and they do. Now, I wouldn't expect the Paul Irvin machine to select the outside lane.
No.
No, you want to be on the inside lane if you are leading.
As one of the great comedians of all time said, nay, nay, you will not, nay, nay, you don't want that outside. Not in a position like this. I do love that inside view with the battery packs and everything else there. That's pretty cool.
There's the in-studio setup for Eric Wineland. Sitting in P3, trying to move up 2 more spots.
I love his stoic face. There's not a better stoic face on a camera.
That's the game face.
That's right. Gotta have it all.
Focused and dialed in here for the last handful of laps or so in the All-Star Open from Atlanta. The winner advances. Everyone else behind P1 will not be making it, with the exception of a fan vote. So here we go. Pace truck back in the pit road and the green flag flying once more from Atlanta.
I'm telling you right now, I think he made the move he needed to. And they haven't gotten into one yet, but I'm telling you, he's gonna,
Yep, he is trying to get around that Sifford machine, and he's got enough room. Wyland up to P2.
Wow, what a run. Does he stay high? Uh-oh. Well, we got one to go. Where'd we
He's
go?
just switching the camera, Ken. It's okay.
Ah! Remember, you're in my head. That's not a good spot.
Oh, Wyland got a strong run there on the outside.
He
might
did.
have a run. Trying to get alongside the quarter panel of Paul Irvin. He's going to try and wind it up on the outside.
I don't think the outside's going to give him what he needs. Oh,
He's into the wall. No, he's still in it because Irvin's into the wall as well. And we got wrecking in the back. They're side by side for the lead as they wreck off turn 2. The caution's going to come out. Irvin's going to stay in the lead. Boy, what a timely caution that was for Paul Irvin.
And not only that, a Sifford too, because he was right there in that whole bunch as well. He could have easily gone into the wall himself. Harold's going to run out of marker tonight.
Well, he's got an endless supply there. As we take a look at our one-to-go replay and look at the incident that was coming off turn 2 that brought out our most recent caution. There's Tyler Nichols and Ryan Swan there. Swan's going to get up in the wall, and Nichols going to get into him. Swan off the wall into the 79. And around they go, and then more drivers are collected as they're moving low to avoid it. And it carries all the way into turn 3.
Not what Ryan Swan wanted to do.
No, absolutely not. And he posted a fast time in qualifying. He was up there in stage 1, just hasn't been able to work his way back up through stage 2, stage 3. He was just kind of stuck there. And he's caught up in our most recent caution.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. 5 laps. So Gary posed a question earlier. Am I giving out the Sasquatch tonight? We actually, we talked about that. It is my discretion, apparently. So what I'm going to do is we're going to leave it hanging. And we may not. You can hear Harold, and if I, so Fan vote for that too. All right. Hey, whoever's on the stream chat right now or watching right now, do you want a Sasquatch award tonight for the All-Star rate or not? I'll leave it up to you guys. Not the open, the race. The big one, not the little ones.
We're saving it for the bigger events.
Yeah, he doesn't come out for just anything, Hunter. Okay, he's finicky.
Yeah, he is. He is indeed.
So
Harold said he has expensive taste, so
he does.
Sasquatch won the best of the best.
So the guy from the series that we call on Friday night, Hunter, Dylan Clark, sent me a Gone Squatchin' mug from Washington State, and then a Sasquatch with movable arms key ring made out of copper or brass. It's really cool. So it's catching on in a weird way, but I like it.
I'll say that's right up your alley.
It is up my alley. And there are coins out there for people. Clint Boyer now has one. Chris Busher has one in his car. Clint Boyer, you can find him. Just listen for the ding in a broadcast. Chris Busher has one, and then Busher's Jackman has one as well.
Really quick, two interesting stories. As Ryan Swan has been given the EOL. Chris Busher actually had the Sasquatch coin in his car when he won the pole at Dover.
Yeah.
Now, He obviously didn't have it last week at Kansas, but if he wants to make it to the All-Star race this Sunday, he might want to put that coin in. And
we'll send him a message. I think we can reach out to him, Harold, and remind him.
Oh, Harold has the connections. He most certainly does.
No.
That package that they ran at Dover is the same at most tracks. The only one different are the super speedway because they're running less than 500. So the lights are out on the pace truck and they'll be going green next time by. And as you mentioned, Ken Clint Boyer does have a 1-to-go coin. And I watched the Dover race in the later stages and I kept hearing a clinging noise in the booth. And I'm like, what is that sound?
That's him trying to open his beer.
That's him with the 1-to-go Sasquatch coin. I couldn't believe it. It made sense because it's not just some cheap coin. That's got some metal to it.
It's got some weight to it. It's a good-looking coin. I'm really proud of how it came out. Harold worked really hard on that. And we just had the coolest time. We signed the wall at Dover for 1-to-go Studios, and it was awesome. Met the Muffin Man. That's right. We got to meet Ed. That was really cool. And he was just excited as we were. So that was awesome. Yeah. Yes, he was. That's right. He was the first one to hold one. So Ed's not here with us tonight, bless his heart, but I'm sure he's excited that he has his own, and he was the first.
So the pace truck going to make that hard left turn on the pit road once again. Could be for the final time. Paul Irvin and Eric Wineland lead the field back to the green flag. They're a little squirrely there on the bottom.
Yeah.
But Wineland did not get the jump he wanted on the outside.
Yeah, that's a bad spot to be. I just we've watched it all night. That outside line does not take off.
So in the second, Simon sliding up. Oh, they're close to making contact there, coming out of turn 2. They're still door to door for a second. Oh, we got turned to the back. Big wreck behind Seidenfein. Jordan Martin got spun around. Multiple drivers spinning. They're still wrecking into turn 3. It's a massive wreck. Absolutely massive wreck. The caution's back out in Atlanta.
These last 4 might be the only one that are left out there after this.
They might be. They were still going at it. That happened halfway down the backstretch, and you just saw a cloud of smoke in turn 3, and then you saw Jordan Martin keeping that thing straight as he could. And we'll take a look at our 1-to-go replay again. This happens right behind the top 4 with Chris Seidenfein there, Jordan Martin. So they were close to making contact right there, but it's actually the 97 car.
Comes out of nowhere and just clips him.
Clips him. Then Seidenfein getting hit from behind. That? I mean, this was a massive wreck. There they all go, just piling in. If we could get a better angle, like from around turn 3 or turn 4,
that will
really show the picture of just how massive this crash was. We'll try and get the best angle that we can for you guys.
A lot. Yeah, here's a good one. Oh. A lot of these guys had nowhere to go. Just literally nowhere to go.
You know, and this will be the best view.
Yikes.
I mean, absolute carnage. Nowhere to go for a majority of those guys in the back.
That right there is a lot of damage.
That's what we say, big old junk, when you get a bunch of cars wad them up in a big crash like that. That's what we call big old junk. And it collected the 22 of Sean Corcoran. Jordan Martin actually still on the racetrack, so he was able to keep that car straight after drifting it through turn 3.
Well, with only 7 cars left. Wow.
Don't believe they have any sets of tires left, because remember, they only get 2 sets here in the open.
That's right.
So you'd think that most would use their set after stage 1 and stage 2 and then be set for stage 3.
So AJ spilled his baby oil, from what I'm seeing here, and AJ is proud that he got the first Sasquatch sent into orbit. And if anybody saw AJ's wreck, he sure did go into orbit. That's how he got it. Shane Wolf says Sasquatch, and if Shane Wolf says it, then I'm going with it. So you will see the hairy beast tonight. I don't know who's going to get it, but Jay Motormouth, you don't want to know. Travis is see what happened was there was a wreck. Yeah, and then
is that that's actually is that Beckner right there?
He's in the he's in 11th spot. He's probably got Walker on one side.
No, that's right. That's him. He's right behind Bryce Senesac, so he was able to avoid the wreck.
I don't know how.
He is indeed still in it.
I don't know how. I mean, he's been back there a lot, so he's still in. Yep. If you get to watch the trucks, the family, the Beckner, we'll call them the cheerleading group. One of the best cheerleading groups that we talk about and get to talk to week in and week out on that Tuesday night. And I just appreciate them. I'll shout out to the entire Beckner clan. Love you guys. Really appreciate you watching all the time and being a part of the racing, because that's what you are every time you get a chance. So, all right, question. Now this time, Wineland's got to come up with something. Here's what I thought about the last time, Hunter. He did not get the jump. Do you take a chance and try to drop behind him and get down low as quick as possible? Kind of cutting off the 89 or cutting off the 89 of Siffert and try to squeeze yourself between Siffert and Paul Irvin.
Well, this is going to sound a little bit generic, but I would try and time it for when the 9 would go. If I'm early, I'm early. If I'm there, I'm there. I mean, that's basically what it's coming down to. We got 5 laps to go, and with the shorter the laps are, the shorter that these cars will be able to get up to speed and have an opportunity at getting the lead. So if I'm Eric Wineland, I try to just time it, because whenever that truck comes down pit road, once all 4 tires are below the apron, the leader can go whenever he wants to.
Well, technically, they're going to go airborne, like right now.
I see what you did there with the pace truck. It's back in pit road, and we're back green. Oh, and Eric Wiley tried to do what you said. He tried to get down there.
I mean, he spun his tires, didn't have a chance. He may still regain it. I mean, you're talking about 4 laps, so it's not like he's out of it. But
no, and in it is Tyler Siffert. He's got to run on the bottom. They're going to be side by side going down into turn 3.
Yeah, he's got quite a run.
And look who's right behind him. The guy that slid all the way through turn 3, Jordan Martin. He still got a shot at this.
There's nobody left. Why not? Go for it, man. Go for it. Travis Beckner trying to get up there as well. Sent a sack on the outside of Beckner. So this is going to be interesting. 3 laps to go here, and everybody is diving in different directions.
Yep, Weiland trying to get back there through the outside. He's going to be close to the wall, close to making contact with Jordan Martin. He's got to run. So
that's quite a run right there, and I don't know that he can pull it off every single time because he got real close to the wall on that last one. But it looks like it's going to pay off for him.
Yeah, he's going to move up to third, and Tyler Sifford, seeing what the 21 car is doing right behind him, he might try to mimic that. 2 to go here in Atlanta.
Does look like he's doing that. This is where you got to figure. Here you go. Do you go high enough to get around?
Wyland just put the fastest lap of the race. He's a man on a mission, trying to get back out to the front, and he's into the wall.
He's not let up. He's still got it down.
No, he's keeping his foot in it.
Absolutely. And you got to at this point.
Absolutely. The 89 of Tyler Nichols also still in it, trying to get as much of a run as he can to catch the 9 of Paul Irvin. As they come across the stripe, 1 to go from 1 to go studios in the All-Star Open.
I think Swervin Irvin's going to hold on to this. He's as long as he runs that low line.
Oh, Sifford getting near that wall, close. Oh, He's not going to make contact with it. Irvin continuing to lead as they go down the back and into 3 and 4 for the final time.
Oh, don't let him in there. Oh.
Sifford tried to send it, and he couldn't quite do it. It did not stick. And coming off turn 4 and securing his spot into the All-Star race, it's Paul Irvin.
Oh, Swervin Irvin holds it off. So again, stay out front, get the clean air. Guess what? You're gonna be good. I hope everybody's paying attention. Gary, you paying attention? Gary, pay attention.
Oh man, that's gotta sting if you're Eric Wyland to have a car that fast and just, man, these untimely cautions just kept him from having a shot at this. I mean, and that last restart too, he spun the tires and just couldn't quite collect himself after that.
Yeah.
It's a rough one there, but the 9 of Paul Irvin. Going to bring him in right now. Paul, this is Hunter and Ken in the booth. Got a copy.
Yeah, I got you.
Boy, well, take us through those last restarts, because, I mean, it just seemed like caution after caution to get closer to you. But that last restart, you were able to drive away from everyone. Take us through what that must have been like.
Yeah, it was stressful to say the least. I'm not strong on the restarts. I've never been really all that strong on restarts. So had to keep them guessing there. Went early on the first one, then try to let them try to keep them back a little bit on that second one. Yeah, just nothing but stressful. And had Shane Wolf in my ear the whole time on those last few restarts. Just let me know where they're running. Let me know if they're gaining, if I'm pulling, and yeah, just shout out to him. Shout out to Wineland and Sifford both there for giving it a hell of a show.
They did. So Swervin Irvin, I get to talk to you now. You have a great car. What do you need to do in the big race? What do you need to do to get to that checkered flag there?
I gotta let the car come to me. I'll be honest. First 15 lap run that we had there, the car was just uncontrollably loose. But as rubber went on the track and the car just came to me, so just got to make it through early, let the car come to me, and hopefully we can have a good track position and be there at the end.
Sweet.
All right, Paul, we'll let you go and get set for the All-Star race. Congrats once again.
All right, thank you guys.
All right, so now we have the fan vote link down in the chat, so keep your eyes peeled, folks. We'll be going away for just a moment, trying to get everything set up for the All-Star race. In the meantime, you have the straw poll down in the chat.
It is also on our. It is also up in Discord as well. So those of you that are out of the race and want to vote, it's also there as well.
Yep. So keep an eye down there and vote your favorite driver in, and who knows, maybe he'll win the fan vote and be in the All-Star race. In the meantime, we'll be going away for just a moment. Don't go anywhere just yet, because we're going to show you all the drivers that are locked into the All-Star race, because we already know that 3 of them are locked in and how they got in. But what about the other 19? How did they get locked in? The Leo down low, he's sending it in. They make contact.
Giglio's trying down low 3 wide. Forcing him. Cameron Hearn cuts in front. Oh!
They make contact.
Oh,
there goes
no.
Theory around. Cameron Hearn around as well. Davey Hendricks on the bottom. He's going to steal it here in Kansas. What an unbelievable finish that we just saw. Dominic DeLeo locked himself into the All-Star race by making his way into the Championship 4, and it couldn't have come at a better time by securing his first career win in Area I racing, coming at Michigan International Speedway. DeLeo down low, he's sending it in, they make contact! Shane Wolf into the wall, Dominic DeLeo with the lead, but Dominic DeLeo pulls it off and upsets Dave Steinwolf at Michigan, and he punches his ticket to the Championship 4. Matthew Robinson was another driver to lock themselves into the Championship 4, becoming the only driver to score a top 10 in every race last season. Bring the 40 of Robinson to victory lane for the second time of the season. He wins at Iowa. But it was James Steinwolf in the end, winning it all. The ARCA Championship last season, securing 4 wins on the year, 10 top 5s, 12 top 10s, and celebrating by winning at Phoenix, with none other than his protege, Travis Beckner. Keep an eye on him. Gary Lewis is the only driver locked into the All-Star race without scoring an Area iRacing victory. He was very consistent in the Swift Lifestyle Pro Series last year, but hasn't found the victory lane just yet. He had 3 top 5s and 10 top 10s last year, and he punched his ticket into the Championship 4 based on consistency.
Oh, man, Giglio probably had about another lap, man. He'd probably be up there with that leaders, man, battling for that win. But they keep battling right now. I don't know, man.
He's coming.
This is a big
He's flying.
Blake Giglio locked himself into the All-Star race by winning in a dramatic fashion.
Oh, man.
AJ's just trying to find a place to go.
Giglio's trying to elbow 3 wide.
Nah.
Forcing him.
Nah, he's going to block him coming around. Here they go, coming off
Look, Giglio. Giglio.
Fritz goes into the wall, takes out Slaughter. Giglio takes the lead. AJ Roderick on the inside, pushing on Beckner.
Battle for second, but Giglio's got it, man.
How about that?
Wow.
AJ
Unbelievable.
Nick Trader secured his spot into the All-Star race by finishing inside the Championship 4, with a close second-place finish at Kansas, making it possible.
Nick Trader, you're in the booth with Cushy and Harold. Good job tonight, number 2. It was enough to secure your place in the championship top 4.
Let's go!
Danny Ware also secured his spot into the Championship 4 by winning at Michigan.
Look down to the bottom. Brad Slaughter all the way down low. Cameron Hearn cuts in front. Oh, wow.
I think it's Danny Ware.
Danny Ware wins. Hearn, Bell, Slaughter.
How about that? What a finish there. Danny Ware, you know what? Had 2 seconds and now a first. This guy is on fire right now in the playoffs.
But it was Brad Slaughter who would take home the championship for the Truck Series last year, getting 4 wins, 12 top 5s, and 12 top 10s on the season. Not a surprise that the number 81 truck was crowned champion in the desert last season. Could he have a possibility of winning the All-Star race tonight? Who knows? Brian Hartz has won a race in every league this season, but none quite like Bristol. He's going to come off turn 4 and win on the concrete version. Brian Hartz wins here at Bristol.
What a performance there from Ryan Hartz, leading this thing from the drop of the green to the end. 0 mistakes made, led every dang lap like you said there, Hunter. That was an impressive performance.
He's leaving that top open for Hendricks. Now here comes Fambro on the bottom. Cameron Hearn with a dive bomb to the inside. He's going to slide up in front of Therian. They make contact. There goes Therian around. Cameron Hearn around as well. They're spinning all over the grass as they come across the stripe. This is how Davey Hendricks got in. They worked their way through 3 and 4 for the final time, and in controversial fashion, Elwood in the wall. Can Hendricks have a run? Davey Hendricks on the bottom. He's going to steal it here in Kansas. What an unbelievable finish that we just saw, coming to the white flag and coming to the checkered flag. It all happened in the same corner, and it works out in the end for Davey Hendricks, stealing one here at Kansas. But last season, it was Cameron Hearn stealing the championship by a landslide victory. Overall, with 8 wins, 11 top 5s, and 12 top 10s on the year, it's no surprise that Cameron Hearn was the man to hoist the trophy for the Lodgebox Series last season in Phoenix. One driver who's looking to hoist the trophy this season is Shane Therian. This is how he got it.
They're too wide in front of him. He's going to have to navigate coming to the stripe here.
Here comes Hearn on the bottom, trying to make a move. He can't do it. Shane Therian holds on and wins the Area 250 here in the Lodgebox Series. Alan Elwood was a part of the Championship 4 last season after this win from Michigan.
There's no luck in this one. Alan Elwood's going to stamp his ticket to the Championship 4 at Phoenix with a win here at Michigan International Speedway.
In just his second race in area iRacing, Jake Nichols dominated at Phoenix to pick up his first win of the season. He's a force to be messed with this season in the Cup, with 3 wins so far on the year. Eli Green dominated at the Bristol Dirt Track, but after a move from Cameron Hearn that was deemed ineligible to win the race, it was given to Eli Green, deservedly so, leading over 70 of the 100 laps at Bristol Dirt. Tyler Holman almost missed the playoffs last season, but after a third-place finish at Charlotte and a win at Michigan, he punched himself in to the Championship 4 at Phoenix. The 52's prevailing. They're sliding all over the front stretch. Simon fighting down low at the line. It's Tyler Holman. Tyler Holman from 8th in the points to a secured spot in the Championship 4. Not going to be enough for the 15 of Cameron Hearn as he's wall riding in the middle of 3 and 4. And in front of him coming off turn 4 and collecting his first win of the year and punching his ticket to Phoenix, it is Ed Robertson getting the job done. The strategy call worked. What a win for that number 64 car. He wins tonight at Kansas and he punches his ticket to the Championship 4.
Awesome job by Ed there. Man, I've been a friend of his for several years outside of this, so to see him do so good tonight and get that win when it mattered, coming in clutch for himself, man, that is awesome to see. I'm proud of him.
But David Weishart would end up winning the championship, getting the job done in Phoenix. Overall on the year, 2 wins coming at Nashville and Pocono, 10 top 5s on the season, 13 top 10s on the year. No surprise that the 3 of Weishart is fast no matter what he's in. Could he win the All-Star race tonight? Only time will tell. Let's get it back up to the booth and call the action. And we're back just like that. We got everything set for the All-Star race. And as always, I'm Hunter Sleppy, lead announcer. Joining me as always, Ken Kushwa and Jesse Punch joins us in the booth. How's it going, everyone?
I'll let Jesse chime in because she hadn't talked to anybody yet. Go ahead, Jesse. How you doing tonight?
I am so good. Thank you so much for having me. I will be honest, I'm very new to this whole iRacing Discord world, but I really appreciate you having me.
I'm sure you will do fine.
I'll say we appreciate having you for the All-Star race, and got 100 laps slated, so we'll let the drivers practice because we're running a little late on schedule with the All-Star Open and the festivities that went on down there. But in the meantime, if you paid attention down into the chat, the fan vote winner was none other than the 21 of Eric Weiland, so he was able to get into the All-Star race even after suffering the All-Star Open that he did. So that will set us up with 11 minutes left in our practice session. Ken, what did you think of that Open? Because it had basically everything under the sun.
I was about to say, it almost felt like we were watching a super speedway race. 2 things we learned. Number one, the top line can work and work quite well. But being out front and clean air is your best friend. And the question is, with only 15 cars or 14, 15 cars, who can get out front first and stay out there and kind of utilize that?
Yeah, that will be the case. And I kind of look back because we only did 1 season of the Swift Lifestyle Pro Series, and I kind of look back to how everything played out in Atlanta. And in the highlight clip that we saw, James Shanewolf ended up getting the win in our only ARCA race in Atlanta, and he turned out to be the ARCA season champ. So that's one driver that I'm going to keep an eye on. Ken, what driver are you keeping your eye on?
I'm glad you mentioned his name, and I didn't have to mention that name. I will be honest. I watch him a lot. Ryan Hartz, the 3 has been hot. Now, this is not his truck, but the guy has just been lights out lately. And I'd like to see Ryan Hartz is going to be the one. And Jesse, you get to pick Cole. Just pick some name. Just go ahead and just go with a name.
Any name? Just pick a name? Oh,
pick a name.
Well, all right. So obviously my last name's Punch. That's a bit of an aggressive last name.
It is.
So just by looking here, right? Just by looking here at the lineup, I'm gonna have to go with Punch with the Slaughter. How do you?
I knew you were going there. I knew darn good and well you were going to head to Brad. Oh,
All right,
Brad's-
so don't let me down here, Brad.
Brad's granddad is going to be happy that you just chose him. Let me tell you.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, Grandpa Slaughter, you made a fan out of me tonight. So
There you go. Hey, Harold, Hunter, Gary'd like somebody to sing happy birthday to him. So why don't you go and do that, my friend?
I am not. I'm not the right person to be doing that.
Sorry, Gary. If I sang it, my voice is, it's built for beauty of the depth. If I sing to you, buddy, I don't know. It's going to ruin you forever. There he is. J.R. Barker, 45. Hey, Granddad, you just missed our new buddy, Jesse Punch, picked Brad Slaughter to win. So I know you're happy about that.
And there he is right there.
Yep. Touching the wall.
Atlanta is actually Brad Slaughter's home track, and we saw from last season he ended up winning in the Truck Series, and he went on to become the Truck Champion. So if there's anyone who's going to perform well at their home track, and especially in Atlanta, it's going to be that 81 of Brad Slaughter. So that's not a bad pick.
That's a good pick.
Harold, I know that the audience can't hear you, but do you have anyone that you're keeping an eye on?
No.
Nope. So Harold has gone with the 70 of Alan Balancino, the Stage 1 winner.
Not a bad pick.
Yep, he joins his Fasicus Motorsports teammate in Dom DeLeo. As we watched in the video, Dom DeLeo raced his way into the All-Star race by being in the Championship 4 from the ARCA Series last season, and it couldn't have come at a better time to get his first win that locked him into the Championship 4, Ken. It was at Michigan after a dive bomb to the inside of James Shanewolf.
Yeah, crazy move. Absolutely. I was going to say Dom DeLeo just paid somebody off and got in that way, but you had to, you went ahead and gave the real story. I like mine better, but Dom DeLeo's joined us in the booth a couple times, and heck of a move. But again, these aren't the cars they typically drive, so it adds a new element tonight.
Now, Dom DeLeo moved up from ARCA all the way up to the Cup Series, and he's made a few Launchbox Series starts, but he's really, and this is really the first league he's ever done. He's completely new to iRacing from Season 1, and just seeing how well he's worked his way up, like progressing through towards the end of the season, he was able to get the wins and able to have a chance at the championship. He's doing it solidly in Cup so far, but I feel like he's going to take that next step up, especially after this All-Star race.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he's going to set himself up perfectly for that, and all the, and I like, I wish all the best to Dom. He's a great guy when he's with us, and Harold and I have enjoyed him calling races with us. So,
and speaking of calling races, Eric Weiland was in the booth for some of the area iRacing races last year in the booth, and he won the fan vote. So we know how fast his car is, so we're gonna have to keep an eye on him.
Harold, go back to Gary's picture. It's his birthday, for crying out loud. This is Gary's new picture. Can you show that again? That's Swerve and Urban. Look at Gary. I love you, man. You are a nut.
Oh, Gary Lewis. He is always a comical one. That guy.
Never a dull moment with him.
And we mentioned a little bit of it in the All-Star Open. He got his way into the All-Star race by being a part of the Championship 4 for the ARCA Series, and he's really the only driver that was already locked in. Boy, he
needs help.
No, he's perfectly fine.
What's wrong with that one? I like that headshot.
Yeah, we can't use that for the side view, but Gary Lewis, he was the only driver that was already locked into the All-Star race without a win. So he got into the Championship 4 from consistency. He had 3 top 5s last year, 10 top 10s, and he's made the move up to Cup. But he's looking to have a solid run here, and he's been pretty good in the ARCA cars. And this is a guy that's been good in any cars. Ken mentioned before, that's his guy to watch out for, Ryan Hartz. He's the only driver this year to have a win in all 3 series. So he won in the Cup Series, the Lodge Box Series, and in the CNC Logging Truck Series.
He's nasty on the track. There's no doubt about it. And he's one of those. He's one of those guys, Hunter, that last year came on in the end. This year is putting what he learned last year into play, and just there are times where you just know he's going to be there when the flag starts to fly.
So the practice session has come to a close. So we got 5 minutes for these drivers to go out and put out the fastest lap. And we just saw there Jake Nichols got his lock into the All-Star race by winning earlier this year in Phoenix. And he's got 2 more wins to that. So he's got 3 wins so far in the early stages of the Elite Entertainment Cup Series. And he has the highest I rating out of anyone here with a 7,200.
Dad, is that you talking? I'm sorry. Jesse has been talking up a storm. How are we supposed to talk over that girl? I mean, goodness gracious, woman.
I'm sorry, I'm just so mesmerized by what y'all are doing here. I'm really just taking it all in.
You jump in anytime you want, ask questions. Hunter has all the answers. He's like the Larry McReynolds of the booth. He says he's not. He says he's not. But he was dropping knowledge in the first in the open. It just blown your mind. It'll blown your mind.
Well, hey, I tell y'all, Larry McReynolds is absolutely one of my favorite people to work with. So if you can drop some knowledge on me, I am always here to soak it in.
There you go. See, Hunter, see what I did there? I brought it together for you.
Now, I will say, whenever I work with Larry Mack, he says, Jesse? And that's how he addresses me. So if one of y'all would like to do that, I would not be opposed.
With the twang? Because I know Larry talks like a Jesse?
Jesse? He said, well, Jesse? I said, I'm going to make that my text tone so that every time someone sends me a text message, it's just Larry Mack saying, Jesse?
Absolutely.
It's hard to have a bad day, right?
It is. I saw him. I wanted to talk to him, but Clint was when I was at Dover this past, it was a couple weeks ago, Clint was the one I had to go to. That was my guy. I had the coin for him and everything. I wish I could have gotten to Larry, but Larry looked like he was in serious mode, and I didn't want to bust in there. But Clint's my kind of guy. There's no serious mode. I love it. So.
Oh, Clint Boyer is a true gem, and honestly, I could not agree more. Getting him in the broadcast booth was one of the best things in the race fan.
Yeah. He says what he wants, does what he wants, and so that's why I wanted to get him one of the Sasquatch coins, because and then you hear it in the broadcast, him dropping it a couple times. It's even better. So.
Oh yeah. I love it. I'll keep an eye out for it now. That's great, y'all.
Busher has one. He had it in his car and got the pole at Dover. And then, we were invitees. That's right. So $25 for the pole. And your man, Harold, is sitting on the pole right now. So unless somebody's got a rocket. Okay.
Oh, yeah, because every Monday and Thursday I ask Harold to put on the crew chief hat because he always knows the fuel runs that go into
Are you kidding me?
Races. Oh, yeah.
I was about to say, what happens on Tuesday? Does he go mental halfway through?
That was.
Hey, Harold, how many laps do you think they're going to go? According to this, it says 45 to 50, but then they go like 60, and it's like, well, that was wrong. So,
but we see Eric Weiland now qualifying as we have about a little more than a minute left. Actually,
3 on the pole.
To the top of the
3 on the pole. I wonder who picked him.
That's Ken's guy that he was keeping an eye out for. Boy, what a lap there. A 31.695 from the 3. Eric Weiland. Now, should point out these guys get 2 laps to go around and put up the fastest lap. And it looks like the 3 has done that. There's still a minute left, so still some cars that are going to be given an opportunity at doing that. That lap will not count from Eric Weiland. So we'll have to sell with what he got from lap 1. And there is James Shanewolf. Looks like he just completed his run. 13th quickest.
I'm glad you picked him because I always pick him and something goes wrong and I end up giving him the Sasquatch Award and I feel really bad. I think I've given him like 3 Sasquatch Awards because I've picked him and given him the booth curse. And so I'm glad you picked him.
I thought you were going to say you're superstitious because that's how I was.
You're the one that started it. That's exactly right.
Yeah, I'd pick the driver to win and they'd wreck. And then you guys forced me to pick again and
They wreck again. Well, we did that for fun. Let's be honest.
Yeah. So looks like qualifying is going to wrap up here, and as mentioned from Ken, the pole winner gets an extra $25 from none other than Miller Racing Graphics. So it looks like that's going to go to the 3 of Ryan Hartz, and we'll get your grid here in just a moment. So looks like the 3 of Ryan Hartz is going to start on the pole. Here we go. In the lineup on the left side of the screen, Ryan Hart's on the pole, going to be on the inside with Alan Balancino in second. Row 2, Brad Slaughter and Alan Elwood. Row 3, Shane Therian and the 7 of James Scioli. Row 4, going to be Jake Nichols and the 94 of Davey Hendricks. And then row 5, going to be Garrett Grant and Danny Ware.
All right. Row number 6. I can't even read that, Harold. Row number 6, Dom DeLeo on the inside, and my boy Gary on the outside. Row number 7, James Shane Wolf in the 83, Eric Wineland, who is going to put on a show, you can guarantee it. And row number 8, Dave Weishart and Swervin Irvin in the beard on the outside of row number 8.
Yep,
hey, by the way, we got to put in our picks on.
Oh, absolutely. I was just about to get to that. So in the chat, the poll question is who will win tonight's area all-star race, and as always, you can type in !bet and then the pick of your choice and the channel amount channel points of your choice. So your options tonight are Therian, Nichols, Elwood, Slaughter, Hartz, Hendricks, Weishart, DeLeo, Grant, and then everybody else is listed as the field, all in one word.
The field.
And Ken is going all out with Ryan Hartz.
Of course. I'm just going to... I mean, I've been watching him just get better and better every week, so... And he's caught a few poles in the trucks, Harold. I think he's won the pole like 3 out of the last 4 weeks or something like that. He's always up front now.
Well, it looks like Harold and I are on the same page because we both just put channel points on the field.
Oh, man. That's only because you saw the Wreck Fest on everything else. And by the way, we just hit 440. Did you see that? 440 met. The banner came across and said we had met our goal. All right, so we haven't shouted out everybody, so give me a second here. I've got AJ Racing, who has brand new bottle of baby oil because he screwed up in the first one. Gary is in there, so he's driving. Mr. Barker, Gator Boy, 672. Joe Darnell's been with us since the beginning. Transcendent Motorsports, thanks for showing up there, Drew. And then a couple others here. Skeleton Trav, Zempire. There's a lot of people tonight, goodness. I got it. Jacoby 22. There's a lot of people there. So, here comes the hard turn.
Yep, Pace Sharp makes a hard left turn on the pit road. Going to be Ryan Hartz and Alan Balancino on the front row, leading the field for a 100-lap All-Star race in Atlanta.
I can tell Jesse's excited. She's talked so much. It's all my fault because I don't.
I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I had to hold back a boogity on that restart.
Why?
What kind of league this was? I felt like I should get the feel for it before I threw that in there.
You should have done it. It'd have thrown Hunter off, but I'd have loved it.
I know my place, and it is the same place that Mr. Waltrip had. So.
Maybe not, but this ain't Daryl's house, so.
Oh, indeed he has. Daryl Waltrip has been.
Well, why isn't he with us on One to Go, Harold? Why isn't Jesse on with us on One to Go Studios on a Friday night? She'd love trying to call that race. We call a triple threat race on Friday night where trucks, Xfinity, and Cup are all on the track at the same time.
That is actually something I would be very interested in seeing.
It's awesome.
Honest. That's really cool.
Yep, Michigan this Friday. So.
Love it, Irish Hills.
That's it. Whoa. Little bump and slide out back there behind Mr. Balancino, who has suddenly come to the second place, and Elwood and Slaughter. Brad's on the outside of it.
That's Shane Therian getting loose and saving the car from spinning around, and Boy, Ryan Hart's has really driven away. Got a 6 car length lead over him and Balancino. It's going to spread out a lot of people.
Jess, talk tires, Jess.
You telling me you want me to talk tires?
Talk tires. Come on, tell us how tires work.
Generally. Yeah, what do y'all want to know about tires? We're here on lap 4 of 100, so we got a couple laps to chat. What do y'all want to know?
I love it.
Yeah, I will be honest though. I kind of was surprised to see the 3 pull ahead to such an early lead, or to such a large lead early on, I should say, given exactly what you said. We're racing at a place like Atlanta. It's no surprise to anybody how rough this racetrack is. So again, we're on lap 5 now of 100. I'm a little shocked to see such a strong effort so early on.
I will say this though, he's very smooth in his movements. So he's not trying to burn him any other way than he's just putting the pedal down. But Alan Elwood is coming on too, and so these guys are really pushing hard.
Alan Elwood and Alan Balancino, 2nd and 3rd right now. Look in the in-car view of our fan vote winner, Eric Weiland, running P11 at the moment.
And this is the old layout, Jesse, so this is going to chew them up even more. This isn't the newest layout for Atlanta. This is back in the Kevin Harvick, Bobby Labonte days where they loved this layout.
Yeah, nowadays they weren't quite a fan of that layout, if I'm being honest.
Nah.
It's so funny. Atlanta's one of those racetracks that I always love asking drivers about, because you're like, how do you feel about Atlanta? And they're not happy about it. And then you go, how do you feel about the repave? And they're still not happy about it. So.
Yeah, I don't know if you're ever going to get them to be happy about Atlanta, but it's always been great race. But it's always been great racing there. Like it just, I don't know.
Absolutely, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. I was very excited to see when I tuned into the Open here, and you guys were running the old configuration for Atlanta, because as fun as it was to watch Atlanta race like a super speedway this year, I do miss the old surface. And when you look back, it's such an old track. I mean, it was the oldest racing surface that we had on the circuit. It adds an element to competition that other places don't have.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it was due for a repave, but I mean the added banking and the making it like a super speedway. To me, it doesn't feel right. Like, to me, this feels right. Like what we're seeing right now, just old Atlanta, multi-groove track. You got cars that can run the bottom, the middle, the top. Just way much better than what we got right now. There is James Shanewolf there, down on the bottom.
His back end is dancing on him right now.
Yeah, we've seen a good bit of cars get loose here. Now, loose is fast, but wrecking loose, you're just wrecking loose.
There we see the birthday boy trying to go down below as well. Gary Lewis trying to get underneath Swerve and Irvin back here, and he's down underneath there now.
Hard to miss those two cars.
Yeah, Gary has the craziest paint job out there.
And then Paul Irvin's got the brightest paint job out there. Oh, and battle for the lead right here, side by side. Art's on the outside, going to try and get a run to stay in front of Alan Elwood. That's going to allow everyone behind him to close in just a tad.
And Jesse, you were going to chime in there a second ago. What do you got?
Yeah, no, I was just kind of, it's so early on in the race. I was actually taking a look at the chat here, and I noticed that somebody said that Weishart and Grant at the very back saving their tires, which kind of plays into what we were just speaking on earlier with Hart's taking such an early lead. It's interesting because
into the wall. Shane Therian just got into the wall there through turn 3. He's keeping the car straight, but drivers trying to get as much as they can on the outside. They get a little too close to that wall.
Marbles. You will find marbles. It's interesting you bring up Gary Grant. The 5 is notorious, Jesse, for running just his own race. He is very good at tires, very good at fuel mileage. So, again, he knows how many laps. He knows when he has to put the hammer down. You'll start seeing the 5 make a climb.
Boy, you saw the 49 put the hammer down on the bottom there to try to get underneath the 3 of Hart's. But once again, Ryan Hart's keeping the run on the outside and keeping the lead.
Yeah, to me, that's really the notable difference in an experienced driver and understanding the race as a whole. Because obviously, everybody says, well, you want to be up front, but do you? At all times, the ability to hang back a little bit and manage the field, and like you said, understand tire wear, understand fuel mileage. I think to me, that is the true signs of a veteran, and I'm very interested to see as these laps tick down a little closer to 100, how these guys start to capitalize on their placement here in the field.
Yeah, and you mentioned about Weishart and Grant. Grant actually won the Cup race from season 1 in Atlanta, and he's the best at saving tires from anyone in the field. So if there's going to be a guy to keep an eye on with tire management, it's going to be Garrett Grant.
Oh yeah. So in our heads, y'all can't hear it, but God just spoke to us and said, the driver is everything. He's the crew. He's making the decisions. He's driving the car. He has to decide. Do I come in and short pit? Do I run it as far as I can? So these guys they wear all the hats, and it's interesting to see how good some of these guys really are. Especially, I've said it before. I've driven them, and it's supposed to be the easiest track, and I can find a way to hit a wall without even blinking. So I hats off to some of these guys.
Quick question: did you just say this was supposed to be the easiest track?
No.
I just want to have a word with who said that.
Harold?
Interesting. All right, noted. Noted. iRacing. I see you.
I found Charlotte to be my easiest track when I was playing around and driving. I didn't put my truck in the wall quite as much as I did at Dover. At Dover, that's not an easy track. I don't care what you're driving. You could be driving a semi, and it's not easy. So my truck does not like Dover, but it likes Charlotte really, really a whole lot. So.
Well,
Martinsville.
No ponds to take into account like we have there in Darlington, South Carolina. But no, I mean, the Monster Mile, let's be real. If you expect that one to be easy, every track has a challenge of its own. I don't think any of these are easy, but I understand the idea of iRacing. I see you. This is also coming from someone who's not very good at iRacing. I'll be the first one to admit that, so.
Yeah, me neither. But apparently we have a race coming up soon, so. Yeah.
Well, I got Shane Wolf there back in.
No, he's got Shane Wolf, right? Oh, Slaughter's in there. He's right. You go to sleep, Hunter. Just because your guy's way back there, like way back there.
Hey, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hunter's like, he's managing the field. Remember we just talked about it.
Yeah. Whatever.
So yeah, in the meantime, Alan Elwood has taken the lead from Ryan Hartz, and that's allowed Alan Balancino and Brad Slaughter to close in, and now we got a battle for second. Balancino on the bottom. Everyone else running right near the wall.
Balancino ran that low line as best he could, and he did talk about it when you interviewed him earlier. He said that there were times where he didn't get low enough. So it's going to be interesting to see if he gets where he wants his car. As you can see, he's putting it down on that line as best he can, but that back end wants to kick out.
Yep, and we saw the three of hearts there just have a really nice turn 3 and 4, and he's trying to get set up to make a move going into turn 1, but he's going to keep it on the outside. Meanwhile, the 70 going to keep it down on the bottom.
Yep. Still squirreling. By the way, shout out to Drew Trader. I bet Sasquatch Anonymous. You are the man, Drew. You know I love you. So those three, Mr. Slaughter has definitely come to play. I know Grandpa's excited about that, but Alan Elwood's pretty much put his Dodge. That's what I like. You want to talk about throwing back? He's driving a Dodge of all cars.
A current driver that's mostly involved in pit strategy? That's a great question. You know, there's obviously a lot, and I think that's one of the most fun things to watch in my job is you've got the seasoned veterans that have worked with their guys for a long time, but one of the things that I really enjoy is getting to watch newer talent work with different crew chiefs. Like somebody that I've kept an eye on right now is Christopher Bell and Rudy Fugel. Because obviously somebody like Rudy has been very instrumental in developing a lot of young talent. Christopher Bell being as young as he is in his Cup career. It's kind of fun watching them figure it out and watch somebody like Christopher learn from Rudy. So that's an interesting one to me, but obviously like seasoned vets, when I think about guys, I think of some of the guys that aren't necessarily together anymore, you know, like Jimmy Johnson, Chad Knaus, of course, Martin Truex Jr., and oh Lord.
I know.
Who's this Canadian crew chief?
Cole Pern.
Thank you very much, Cole Pern. Yes, sir. So some of the seasoned vets that, of course, aren't together anymore, I enjoy watching these new teams team up and figure it out.
I thought that was a brilliant move, getting Rudy Fugel for Christopher Bell. I did not see that coming, and I think you're right. I think that combination of those two, Christopher's gonna really turn. I think the second half of the season is where you start to see that 20 car become more of a productive entity for Joe Gibbs Racing.
Sorry, I was saying I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer, but he's actually the crew chief to William Byron.
Who's Debbie Downer? Where is she from? He sucks. Shut up. Nobody cares about the 24. Shut up. Gosh.
For those that can't hear Harold, William Byron is his driver that he
He's
keeps
in
an eye
my
on every
ear,
Sunday.
so everybody can figure it out. So what? I went to the Dairy Queen and got ice cream. What? That doesn't make me a fan. You know, I'm not going to follow Dairy Queen racing. Whatever. Let's go back to the most brilliant person in the chat. And Drew says that Sasquatch is going to win the race. And I think he's right.
Boy,
Yeah.
well, this battle has still been going on, whether it's for the lead, for third, for fourth, wherever it is on the track, it's still going on.
And tires have dropped off quite a bit. We were talking about it. They were running, best lap was Alan Elwood put down a 32.023. He's currently running 33.822s, which means they've dropped off quite a bit. And these guys are still tight, running, neck and neck as far as lap times go.
Oh, they're really close
Yeah,
there.
they're tight there.
Valentino all over the bumper of Ryan Hartz, who's now down to the inside of Alan Elwood. They're going to be side by side for the lead here across the quad oval.
And Jesse's pick is coming in the picture now as well. Brad Slaughter has figured out how to hang with these guys.
He's been in the picture. He's just watching all the action.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's been watching. He knows he's drawing himself into this a lot tighter than he was.
I also just realized that I have had my microphone muted for the past solid 45 seconds to 60 seconds, so...
You sounded great.
It's going really well, guys.
Yeah, you're doing great. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I do. I'm the first person to tell you everything that I do wrong, and the many ways that I embarrass myself on a daily basis, so... I'll always be the scapegoat, don't worry.
If somebody wants to know where Gary is currently running 16th. He is back there looking at himself through his window, staring at his face, I'm sure. Paul Irvin.
Paul Irvin. Swerving
And now
Irvin.
you know how he got his nickname. Now you know.
Yeah, living up to the nickname, Swerving
Yep.
Irvin.
Back up front at the excitement.
I'll say these guys have been swerving for the last handful of laps or so,
Yep.
bombing and weaving, going for positions. Malachino still trying to run the bottom. Hart's still on the outside with Elwood in front and Slaughter right behind. Looking at the madness in front of them. The fuel run that we're looking at, since we're on lap 29, we're about halfway through it. 55 to 60 laps here on a tank of fuel. It is 100% fuel. Last season it was only 75%, but this season across all Area iRacing leagues, it's at 100%, and as always, 3 sets of tires. That was close. So as mentioned, 16 drivers are in the field. And in the early days of Area iRacing, we had typically less than 20 drivers in the field for some of these events. And in those races, we averaged less than 1 caution a race. lots of clean side-by-side racing here like we're seeing right now with this top 4.
Jesse, if you're paying attention to the chat and you see AJ asking about baby oil, just let it go. Just let it go.
I'll say even I don't even know the baby oil thing.
No, you don't, and you don't really want to.
I'm glad.
I would say AJ is one of my closest followers. Yeah, he has been he's been a big supporter all the way through, and he's an absolute nut job. But he has baby oil because we don't need to get into it. Just hope Danny Ware does not win, because you're going to find out how much baby oil he has.
I'll say, is he a closer follower to you than Ryan Hartz? Because he's been following Elwood for the last 10 laps or so. I mean, right up on the bumper too, but just not making a move. Can't get around him.
Well, I think Jesse made the point about the tires, and they've, of course, these first 4, they're all evened out. I mean, their times there's nothing between the top 4.
Oh yeah, some of the fastest laps of the race from these guys in the top 4 are 32.0, 32.2s. Yeah. They're almost 2 seconds slower than their fastest laps of the race right now.
Yep.
Well, I will say, considering you guys have informed me that the drivers are also the spotters and the crew chief, I would love to hear any of these guys yell out loud right now. But what I have learned in all of this is that the guy behind the wheel, as much as he thinks that he has the right opinion on what's to happen, he does not. And the spotters and the crew chiefs are absolutely playing the game here. So, yeah, I'm sure they want to bring it in to get some tires, but it's all about, like we said before, managing the field. And you know that everybody's looking at that 49 of Elwood to try to figure out exactly.
Speaking of that, sorry to cut you off, but speaking of that, we got a few drivers making their way on pit road right now. James Kyley, Dom DeLeo, and David Weishart have all brought their cars down into pit road. And I was going to ask you, Harold, because you do have a crew chief hat on Mondays and Thursdays. Harold likes to say they'll split it into thirds, split into fourths, and that's what we're seeing right now. Those 3 drivers looks like they're going to split it into thirds. So they're pitting a lap 33 and might be coming down on lap 66.
Yeah,
Boy, Brad Slaughter's lost a little bit of this front 3, and that's allowed the 91 of Jake Nichols to now close in on the bumper of the 81 car.
Yeah, he's about 600ths off of them, maybe 7. Slaughter is not getting the same kind of speed that he had not too long ago. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody tries to cut it in half if it can go that far. Yeah. I'd almost think that even Grant might cut it in half, and as you see, he's up in 8th now. So,
yeah, Garrett Grant might cut it in half, but Jake Nichols might cut it in half, as well as, we're looking at possibly a 3-wide move for the lead. Not quite. Alan Elwood gonna get the run on the outside. Balancino now with the run down on the bottom, and right behind those 3, you see Jake Nichols completing the pass on Brad Slaughter for the 4th spot. Oh, yeah, the spin over there in turn 2. It did not trigger a caution. And it looks like it was the 38 of Shane Therian looking slow. Now moving on to pit road, and right behind him, you just saw Brad Slaughter make them dive bomb down to the pit entrance. He's going to put some fresh stickers underneath that machine.
Watching Balancino, it almost looks like he's trying to figure out what it's going to be late race. Where is his car going to best fit late race? Nichols again coming like a freight train. But he's tried almost everything. And there you see Hartz is going to push him down a little farther. But these guys are interesting.
They continue the battle for a second, and now joining in that mix is Jake Nichols. Obviously, Jake, part of the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing series, and now is taking a dip into area iRacing, and he's giving the 3 and the 70 a run for their money right now, because they've been going at it, trying to stay with the 49 of Alan Elwood. And now Nichols looking to the outside of Ryan Hartz.
No,
And right there,
Valentina.
the lap car on the bottom, that is James Skylerly. He came down and pitted. This just shows you newer tires compared to older tires and how much of a difference they are. On rails with the newer tires of Skyoli. It's another car down there on the bottom. That is David Weishart. Also newer tires.
I don't think Valentina is going to hold Nichols off.
No, Nichols has a strong run down on the bottom. It looks like he's going to try and clear him before turn one. Balancino going to give him a run for his money on the top. Elwood nearly clipping the wall there. And Jake Nichols going to slide up in front of Balancino and complete the pass for second. But Balancino with a crossover down the back. All right, under him, the lap car. Dom DeLeo.
Yeah, these guys are just hauling. The ones that have gotten new tires are just, it's just stupid outfit. Almost three Slaughters at 31.996. Alan Elwood just ran a 34.2. So new tires. Yep. Beautiful.
Yeah, major difference there. And towards the longer run of the race, we start to see the 91 of Jake Nichols continue to climb and climb through the leaderboard. And now he's trying to get to the top, taking the spot away, trying to at least from Alan Elwood. And right behind it, that's Brad Slaughter. Newer tires, he's got nowhere to go.
Oh, he'll make a move.
Now he's going to give it to the run on the outside of Alan Elwood.
All right, Jesse, you want to say something. I keep hearing your mic. Come on. What you got, girl? Jump in.
I'm just shuffling, y'all. I'm nervous. I'm going to be honest. I'm so new to this. I really am so intrigued, though, by watching, just watching what these guys are doing. Because I'm so new to iRacing that I hesitate to analyze what they're doing, but I really enjoy watching it.
Well, yeah, I've only done this now. This is second season now for me, Harold. And yeah, I've absolutely enjoyed every moment of it so far. So I like the interviewing. I like to talk to the drivers after they're done. I like to hear them say the same things that you'll hear if you were interviewing somebody, after the race. I mean, these guys are working it, and it's fun to hear how their car's working. It's amazing how close iRacing has gotten this, and how how much it really works. Well, now you're going to put me on the spot. So we got a chance to talk to Chris Buescher on Sunday at Dover before, and I was asking him about the new cars versus the older cars, and of course, what was the difference? And one of the things that he talked about, and I'm getting there. God's talking to me in the ears again, folks. So if I'm saying something and you don't understand what's happening, it's God talking to me. Okay. Anyways. The one thing he did talk about was we mentioned the ride heights, because if you look at the new car, it sits low, and that back air dam or whatever they call it underneath, at a track like Dover, you'd think they'd bounce like a basketball. But he says that the setup now for the springs and everything is so much different. But he said, when he's driving his iRacing, it's amazing how close that they can get this, the reactions, I think he talked about just the tires wore the way they would, what's the laser? What do they laser it down to, Harold? I mean, come on, that's insane to me.
Also, Ken, I believe the word you were looking for there was diffuser.
No, I was looking for air dam because I can't say diffuser. Okay. But you're probably right, Hunter. It is a diffuser.
Boy, you want to call me Harold so bad.
Well, that's because I'm used to Tuesday nights. I mean,
As a tool to work on their setup for the race, Sims, I mean, I know a decent number of them that run it just to get a little bit of track time, but I definitely don't know many of them that are using it necessarily as a legitimate tool. I think obviously a lot of the guys use the Sims that the teams have to be able to work on their setups. iRacing is just an opportunity to keep themselves sharp and, quite honestly, just to mess with each other, I think, on a weekly basis. Bragging rights, if you will.
I was about to say, I would imagine that those guys try to go after each other, change their names so nobody knows, and just run. And by the way, did Nichols come with a rocket in his backside, or I mean, what the heck?
Well, we did mention that he's got the highest I rating here at 7,200 than anyone else in the field, and that he was a former Coca-Cola NASCAR iRacing Series driver. And we saw it at Kansas, Harold, you and I, for the Cup Series. That longer run, the longer the run goes, the faster that 91 car goes.
So AJ's asking, does it go 100 laps green? Yes, I think it does.
Well, there could be a caution in between now and the end of the race as we're approaching halfway through.
Yeah, yeah. It's possible, but
boy, we got a 3-car battle now in the back for second. Elwood, Balancino, and Danny Ware, they're all right there with each other.
Now, there's someone we haven't talked about.
Yeah, I was say Danny Ware. We haven't talked about him all night long. He got his way into the All-Star Open from being inside the Final Four in last season's Truck Series. And he's another one that likes to preserve the tires.
He does.
And obviously, the longer the run goes, the faster that 18 car goes.
Two more. Garrett Grant and Ryan Hartz are both on the pits.
And it looks like the two drivers in front of them, or in front of the 18, are going to make their way on pit road. That's Alan Elwood and Alan Balancino. So both the Allens coming down.
Nichols is stretching this as long as he can, 55 to 60, so he won't stretch it much longer, but he definitely cut it in half. And we did ask that question, and everybody said that would be the guy that did it. So Elwood also cut it in half. Balancino cut it in half. So interesting. I want to see how the guys, and coming now. I want to see the guys that are going to try to cut in threes, how that works out. Because without a caution, I don't think it works.
Well, speaking of cutting, Ken, I think you have a special shout out to give for coverage of tonight's All-Star race.
Do I? All right. We would like to say, excuse me. I'm sorry, Hunter. We would like to thank CNC Logging for their support of the CNC Logging Truck Series this season in the area. Located in Boiling Springs, South Carolina, CNC Logging is your place to go for any of your logging needs. Got wood? Big or small, summer or fall, we'll cut your log guarantee.
Y'all just should have let me read that one.
I know, you had the voice. You're going to have to...
Come
on, hey.
Way too much of an eye in Bowling Springs.
I know you did not, girl. I know you did not just call out my bowling.
Oh, no.
I am a West Virginian, and I know hillbilly, okay?
Oh, you're practically from the north then, what?
Oh, wow. Oh. I thought my new racing chair wouldn't allow a knife to go in my back like that, but clearly I am wrong. Ow.
No, I kid.
It's okay. You don't think I don't?
The Mason-Dixon line again?
Well, West Virginia, where I am, we're literally on it. I mean, I'm from Martinsburg, West Virginia, so that's the Eastern Panhandle. There's like 9 miles between the Pennsylvania line and the West Virginia line, so that's how close I am. And I'm in Delaware now, so that's literally the line. But no, I'm a West Virginian all the way. It looked like it.
Eric Wallem, I've tapped the wall there coming out of turn 2. But he is the leader. You have to make a pit stop, though, but he's still leading. Actually, You know what? Yeah, yes, I was right.
55 laps. Oh, no. So that the God has spoken again and said that Eric Wineland has a jug in there. You know, that was questioned earlier in the season, I remember. He likes to have that extra mileage. What do you guys say about that, Mr. Wineland?
Well, we did say that the fuel run was anywhere from 55 to 60 laps.
Oh, yeah.
But obviously, the drivers have the opportunity to stretch it maybe another couple laps or so. And it looks like that's what the 21 of Eric Weiland might be doing. And we saw, I believe that was Jacob Hudson there saying 2-stop strategy versus 1-stop strategy. So yes, obviously with the fuel run, and as long as Eric Weiland has gone, anyone that pits now is good to go on fuel to the end. But it's just tires and how long you can stand on a set of tires.
I know. I saw that. He's the man, and Adam, I thought that you know what, it's fine, it's all right, man. I just like that it's in Boiling Springs, South Carolina. I ain't calling y'all uneducated. I'm just adding a twang to it. But from now on, we'll have Jessie dub in tonight, and she can say it, and then that way, every time it comes up, everybody gets Jessie saying it. How's that?
Well,
they don't like me, Harold. Harold, do you see that? Adam Capps has called me out.
I'll say,
said that a Southern accent meant uneducated.
I know. I didn't say that. I just said I'm from West Virginia. Yeah, I'm just saying I'm from West Virginia, which means banjos and never mind.
Well, speaking of banjo, Eric Weiland has brought that machine down pit road.
Wow.
So Ryan Hartz
that was the voice of God as well, letting me know.
Yes.
Team. Was that the voice of God? I wanted to make sure.
That is, yes.
Follow-up questions, but he was saying they were seeing some cording on that right front tire.
Well, and you spoke to that earlier. You said that you were surprised that Ryan Hartz was jumping out to the lead that he did. Now we hear from above that, as you said, there's cording on that. So clearly he pushed it. But have we heard from anyone else, Father? Have we heard from anybody else as far as cording or pushing tires or anything like that? Nope. The Lord
Father
says no. Father says nope. So. I can't. You want me to walk and chew gum and do this at the same time? Shoo. All right, well, look who's in the lead right now. Somebody might have called this one off. Slaughter in the lead. And Harold kicked the machine. It's a little digital on my end. I'm going to blame you, not me, remember?
I don't think kicking it's going to make it better.
Whatever.
So unplug it and plug it back in.
There you go, right. Right in the middle of everything. Just pull the plug.
Yeah, it's fine. It usually works.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine the love we'd get for that?
Imagine the love Brad Slaughter would get from his family if he were to take home the checkered flag and win the All-Star race in his home track, Hampton, Georgia.
Oh, Granddad's watching.
Yeah.
He wants it, yeah.
Oh, he watches every race.
Yeah, that's a good point there, Adam. Yeah, you have Shane Wolf. That alone takes you down, a notch or two? And I love the man. So. Oh, because he was the one that cut it in thirds.
Yeah, these top five or so looking to possibly make their pit stops within the next handful of laps or so, because remember, some of these guys pitted on lap 33, trying to split it into thirds, so they would come down, if they would stick to their strategy, they'd come down within the next 5-ish laps.
So then that goes to the question back to what we talked about at the very beginning of the race, and that's tires. If they cut it in thirds, these other guys are going to be pushing. By the time they get to lap 90, Slaughter's still going to have the advantage for tire wear. If everybody else is just going to cut it in half, Slaughter cuts it in third, he's going to have a quicker, if he can get in and out and get those tires, he's definitely going to have the shorter run on it. I don't know. Call me crazy, but
I gotta say,
not have been a bad move.
I'm still looking at between Jake Nichols and Alan Balancino, because I still feel like it might come down to either one of them. And we already know with how well Jake Nichols is on preserving the tires. If he can stay out there from now to the very end, I think it'll be a hard chance for anyone else to get around him and possibly win.
Yeah, it's true.
And the other voice from above, the Jacob Bell, saying that money about to be handed out here soon as heading into the All-Star weekend. It was originally going to be $100 to win, but it got doubled to $200 and then $225 and then $250. And if Alan Balancino can win or anyone from the All-Star Open, those that won in the All-Star Open to advance to the All-Star race, that'd be another $25 for them as well. So a lot of money on the line here.
And the booth gets a bonus too, right? Did that? No. I mean, we brought in a heavy hitter. I mean, the booth should get part of that too. I'm gonna have to work that out. That's almost like our sponsorship, Harold. We're not getting any sponsorship either. We need some food sponsors or drink sponsors or Mellow Yellow. Are you listening? Mountain Dew, are you listening? Monster Energy, are you listening?
I'll say, Ken, I think you got enough Mellow Yellow from the sound of it.
I was told I'll get paid in gum.
I can do that. I mean, I'll mail you gum. I got like 17. My wife bought me like 17 packs. I'll send you some.
Okay. Works for me, thanks.
And I'll send you a Sasquatch on top of that. How's that?
That's why I'm really here, so.
I know. You want the coin. Who doesn't? Boyer's got one now. You got to have one. I understand. Oh.
Don't forget about me, Ken. I still want a coin.
We got you, Hunter. We got you. Yeah, Hunter, we have to deliver it. I think the only way we're gonna hand Jessie hers in person is if we catch her at a racetrack. So, I don't have any plans to be at a track anytime soon. So,
Well, I do find myself at a few of those. So if you do ever have plans to find your way to one of them, I'm sure we could probably meet up.
I'm sure. We are planning that. Yeah, I don't know when, I don't know how, but we're gonna do it.
And you're
Harold's
really
still trying to get me
ahead.
on my first cruise. So the difference there, Hunter, you were talking about Nichols and Balancino. So 6 seconds between Slaughter and Nichols now, and it's 14 seconds in the box. Yeah, not to mention the time it takes to get off pit road, on pit road, off pit road.
Well, Brad's going to have the fresher tires compared to Nichols and Balancino, but the thing is, with Nichols, he's only 17 laps into a run. We saw what he was like 50 laps into a run. I mean, it seemed like he had fresh tires, just better than Elwood and better than Ryan Hart. So, in my opinion, it's going to be hard to see anyone try and top what the 91 car is doing.
I hear you. Oh, no doubt, but I don't foresee that. I think this is going to be one of those long run kind of things. These guys are.
Looks like Shane Therian disconnected from the server. That was quite a while ago, actually. Ooh.
It's okay. Here we go. How long is it going to take till we got to the 18 and what the 18 did? Goodness gracious. I said I'm going to stop rooting for him. Well, okay. So those of you who are wondering, God spoke again. And he's talking about the 18 parking the car just before he goes into the garage area. Of course, it's a jab at the fact that last year he nearly killed. Well, he did kill cones, and he nearly killed human beings.
All right.
So I'm not an 18 fan much anymore. I'm a fan of the team because I love Joe Gibbs, but I mean, I don't know. Jessie could probably speak to Kyle Busch better than any of us. I'm sure.
I was going to say, speaking of 18, you flip those numbers around, you get 81, and that's the number our leader is racing it, Brad Slaughter.
Well done there, Hunter. Nice job.
I just still get a kick out of the fact that even God boos Kyle Busch, a driver intros.
That's pretty funny. That is pretty funny.
Now, I will say, in defense of Kyle, he is nice to work with when you get an opportunity to chat with him. He is very patient, and one of my favorite things about working with Kyle Busch is that he challenges me a little bit as an interviewer, and he wants to know that I'm actually there and I understand what I'm talking about. So
Yeah.
once you can kind of prove yourself to him, he'll open up to you. But he just wants so you done work as well.
I know he's intense, and I get it. I mean, the guy is, you know, as far as he's concerned, if you're second, you've lost. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So God is speaking about Jesse. There was a time where somebody was running. God was in control of iRacing, race control, and he might have booted Kyle Busch during a race. So.
Oh.
Well, and I'm sure Adam could speak to it since he's in the chat, but wasn't Adam. Oh, another cap. Ron Caps? Well, what was Ron Caps driving anyways? He's a drag racer. Like, what does he know about stock car racing? Yeah.
Very much so. Who you want to know about? Because they are very different when they're not behind the wheel.
Well, I will say this, Jesse. We had a chance to talk to Chris Butcher one-on-one, and I would say this. Out of all the people that I talked to, ran into on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, that dude's about as down-to-earth as you get.
Absolutely. What you see is what you get with Chris Buescher. He is very, very appreciative for the opportunity that he has, and that's something that I very much admire in a driver. But he's very much what you see is what you get, and it's kind of fun to mess with him a little bit because he's so polite that it's fun to kind of try to break into his break his walls down. But he is such a nice guy.
Yeah, we found that out as well. Hunter, Slaughter is being reeled in by Nichols. You said it before. Mr. Nichols has hammered down and going at it. Doing the math, Brad,
he'd be pushing it with fuel.
Yeah, he would be, but could he do it?
Fuel, I'm a little iffy about tires. It's really gonna hurt him.
Yeah. Hunter, this just came to me. I think 63 laps if he goes to the end. So,
where'd you get that number from?
I don't know. It came out of the sky. Just dropped in my lap, buddy. I thought it was smooth, don't you?
Yeah, it's a random number, but it sounds about right.
Adam Caps wants to join us in the booth, buddy. I don't know what Harold says, but we could have some fun on a Tuesday night. I'm just saying, trucks and you. That'd be fun. You got to come crazy though. That's why. See, she's afraid to jump in here. I can feel it. Like just get nuts. Just go crazy. Hunter's well, he's good.
I'll say, speaking of crazy, Jacob Bell just said that Weishart might get to them. That might be a little crazy.
That is. How is Weishart going to get to them?
He would have to.
He does. And he's running a 33 versus Nichols. Yeah, I mean, he's running a 33 almost flat, and Nichols is running a 33.6. So.
Yeah, possible. I mean, he might be faster now, but 10 laps from now, those tires could be completely different. Yeah, eventually they do even out. So it could happen, but we'll see. Still got less than 20 to go here.
And clearly we see right now somebody's going to be looking in the rearview mirror and seeing a gold car about to just run by them.
Yep, Jake Nichols catching the 81 of Brad Slaughter here, and now we're battle for the lead presented by Elite Entertainment. We would like to thank Elite Entertainment for their support of the Elite Entertainment Cup Series, and from all of us here at Area, be sure to check out Elite Entertainment on Facebook and book them to DJ your next event. As we see, the 91 is caught up to the 81. Nichols down on the bottom from Brad Slaughter. side by side through 1 and 2, and not much of a battle there as Nichols is going to slide up right in front of Brad Slaughter and take the lead away.
So I would assume we see Brad Slaughter come down and get tires, or does he just try to push it?
Well, he's made his bet. He's got a lie in it.
That's it. Unless some crazy late caution comes out, but I don't foresee that.
Yeah, that does have a possibility.
All right, let's get back to our third person in the booth who we don't hear a lot from. So,
I apologize, you guys. I'm mesmerized.
no, don't apologize. I that's what I want to get into. So your opinion right at this point. What are you thinking? What do you like? What do you dislike? How are you feeling about this?
How am I feeling about this? I'm gonna be honest. I dislike the idea that you think that it is very unlikely that we would see a caution here in the last 15 laps of the race. Again, I don't know enough about iRacing to know how likely, but if I were watching this race at Atlanta in person, I never discount or count out a caution here in the last 15 to 10 laps of the race. I definitely
Fair
think
enough.
it's a possibility.
Fair enough. Well, the only reason I'm going off of that is you got 15 cars. One on my lap down. I mean, what would be the issue, I think, is if someone has been running long on tires and that it just gives out. So you are right. I'll grant you that. I forgot. We are on. The Lord has spoken and said these are all top level drivers. Too, Jesse. Did you hear the Lord speak?
I have heard the Lord. I believe.
Yes. Here comes the number 5, trying to get underneath my guy, Mr. Hartz, who currently is not in the position I swore he was going to be in. The closest right now is Harold with, well, that's not true. Jesse's Brad Slaughter, but the chances of Brad catching up to Nichols is pretty slim. But Mr. Ballacino is coming in a hurry, and he may have a shot at this. So
I'll say you kind of jumped the gun on that, Ken. I mean, he is catching him, but he hasn't passed him just yet.
I know that's right. He's going to pass him here, Hunter.
Yep, he's going down for second. And once again, Alan Elwood from Elwood Designs is given an extra 25 if anyone from the Open wins the All-Star race. And it might be a possibility for Alan Ballacino if we get a late race caution, could set things up for him.
I would tell you this, if I was out on the track right now, there's a good chance, I would say like a 98% chance there'd be a caution if I was on the track. And not because I want to cause a caution, I'm just saying I know my skills, and yeah, it would get ugly. I never had talent to begin with, so
the Lord is taking jabs at Ken.
He is. I wish they could hear it, but they're already used to it on a Tuesday night, so it's not really much of anything. Or Friday.
Yeah, I know we're taking down here in the laps, but I'll quickly, before we get down into these 10 to go, I'll let you know that the extent of my iRacing experience, a buddy of mine let me on his sim for a few times, and I was trying really hard. I was going through a whole 30-minute practice session for a demolition derby. He said, you quite literally cannot mess this up.
Mm-hmm.
And I did 30 minutes of practice. I was ready to go, and the second we were getting ready to take the green, they kicked me from the server. So I have done nothing but get kicked out of a demolition derby. That is the extent of my iRacing experience.
Wow, that's talent right there, Jesse.
I like to think so. You know, there's not many people that can really truly say that they have been kicked from a demolition derby where the sole focus is to destroy a race car.
Destroy a race car, yeah. Hey.
Yeah, I like to believe that it's something I was born with. It's a skill.
It seems, well, that alone will get you the Sasquatch. There we go. Just make sure before you get off of here and go away. We'll have to send you one.
It's like it sounds like she's got a similar skill to Ryan Swan, because he just put that she needs to come cup racing with us. That's a demo derby.
That is true.
Yeah, Ryan Swan has a fair share of being involved in some of those demo derbies.
A few. Well, you asked for that, so. So Harold ran a race yesterday. Was it yesterday, Lord? Okay, ran a race yesterday, and he got hit at Michigan Jesse, and he literally went above. He got launched into the air by a truck, hit him, T-boned him, sent him into the air above the backstretch fencing, almost as high as the trees. He goes up and then comes back down and spins like, I don't know, it looked like a washing machine from the inside of the car. And then comes back down and gets hit again. The poor guy, it was bad. It was bad, but he's claiming that it wasn't his fault. Of course.
Driving that you got hit like this?
He was driving iRacing, yeah.
I know, but what kind of car?
He was driving an ARCA. Yeah, he was driving an ARCA and then the trucks. Remember, we do a triple threat series, so that's why he had trucks out there.
Well, no, the reason I asked is because I felt like, this new composite body, that ought to be able to handle a nice punch across the backstretch, no? I mean, we've seen that in the Xfinity series plenty of times, right?
That's true. That's absolutely true.
That was a bad joke, you guys. You guys need to learn how to, laugh at my
No,
jokes.
no. You got to work on that. You got to work on that.
See, when I'm in the studio, I laugh at my own jokes. But I feel like,
Oh. I mean, that's fine.
Is it fine?
It's fine. It really is.
My actual producer is sitting right here next to me. She's looking at me like it's really not fine. Please don't encourage her.
Listen, of all the people that said a lot of stupid things like myself, I will encourage you every chance I get. I am that kind of guy. I'm the Boyer too. That's true for you, Harold. I have a following, okay? 3 people like me, okay? And that's all that matters. So who picked Shane Wolf again?
Oh, all right. That's me.
I don't know anything about him, or I would have picked him.
Boy, we've gone 95 laps without a caution. Can we go 5 more without a caution?
There's a good chance. Even at old Atlanta, there's a good chance.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, last year for the Cup Series, we went caution-free in the Southern 500.
That's talent.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, area. Excuse me. Last year we were Aria. This year we're area. The iRacing last year was kind of crazy. I can remember we went lots of races green, and then this year we started out with lots of races yellow.
Well,
lots of yellow.
Last year we didn't have as many drivers as we did this year, because this year we've got more full fields now across 3 series. And last season we had 4 series, and we didn't get our first yellow in any of the series until week number 3.
So, 3 to go. I'm going to do it. Go ahead and send him out, Harold.
Oh, your Sasquatch award.
I'm
There he
out.
goes.
There he goes. Sasquatch has showed up, ladies and gentlemen, in Atlanta Speedway. And why is that? Because the birthday boy, my buddy, Gary Lewis, wanted one. He's 3 laps down. He showed up with one of the funniest paint schemes ever. He changed his thing. Gary, my friend, congratulations. You will get the Sasquatch Award, and I will send you your medal. And I hope you enjoy your signed letter and everything like that. Frame the letter, and then enjoy the coin. He's going to be really happy. Happy birthday, Gary.
Yeah, happy birthday, Gary. Shout out Gary Lewis. Also, Chris Seinfeld wanted to shout out Denmark as well. Don't know why, but shout out Denmark.
Whee! He'll be coming around for the white flag when he comes. He'll be coming around for the white flag when he comes.
Well, I was not aware this was karaoke. I would have prepared.
You're supposed to be a professional. You just jump right in. Karaoke, that's what I said.
Prepared.
Well, when you have time and you want to join us on a Friday or Tuesday night, you can karaoke. You can do whatever you want. It's open season, open mic.
Be careful what you wish for, fellas.
No. I'm going to tell you, Friday, if you joined us on Friday night, the conversations that we have I don't know how much racing we talk about. Here he comes. Take the flag.
And down to the checkered flag, it's Jake Nichols absolutely dominating in the second half of the All-Star race. He wins the Area iRacing All-Star race from Atlanta. And he is $200 richer.
Yeah. The half goes to the booth. I think we talked about it. Does he really need it after that performance?
I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
You might be right. I'd get a helmet. That's what I get. Sitting in my living room with a helmet. That'd be awesome. I need help.
And here's our race recap presented by Elwood Design. So Jake Nichols led 27 of the 100 laps, but he led the last lap, which is the most important lap. 0 cautions. No cautions in our 100-lap main event. And the fastest lap went to David Weishart at 31.901.
Yeah. That'll do it.
Oh, yeah, the dollar bills all over the side of the 91 car special paint scheme for our all-star winner. I believe we got him up. Get him up here in just a moment. There he is right now. It's Jake Nichols, the Area iRacing all-star winner. Got Hunter, Ken, and Jesse in the booth. Got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Boy, well, we were too busy focused on Alan Elwood, Balancino, Ryan Hartz, even Brad Slar. They were just having at it for the first 4 spots, and then you slowly worked your way through. And we know how good you are on the longer run with the older tires. Take us through what the first half of the race was like.
Yeah, I just focused really hard this whole time on having tires later. I knew it'd be kind of a cleaner field. We had less guys racing, so I just try to save my stuff, and I wasn't as good on short run as them all either, so I knew I had to make it up somewhere. And they kind of pulled me a little bit, so I was just easing into the corner, easing off, and trying not to let too many people go. But overall, it worked out pretty good. There was a few tough battles going through. There was some guys that were mirror driving a little bit, so they're holding tough, and obviously we're all racing for the money, so you don't really want to let anyone go. So I don't blame them. It was a good race overall. Once we got that lead, though, we set sail, and I wasn't looking back.
All right. Well,
if I may, but and actually that brings me to my next point was in watching that. At what point during that race were you confident that you were going to be the one in victory lane?
You know, once we got to the lead and we started pulling away, I thought our chances were really good. I knew there was a little strategy game going on. There was a few guys doing the 2-stop versus what I was doing, which was 1-stop. So I knew there was a possibility, but with how these tires wear, it takes a few laps and they drop off hard, and then they even out for a little while, and then there's just gaps of where you'd run the same pace for 10 and then it'd fall off a little bit, then run the same pace again. And I knew if they couldn't stay at a certain pace, then only a caution would beat me, and thankfully we didn't get one, and we got to stay out front and just keep pulling away.
So you mentioned the tires, and it's all, we talked about it many times throughout the race as well. The one thing I did notice is you guys would be running 31s, just flat out killing it, and then all of a sudden you're in 34s. When you finished the race, you ran a 34, almost a 34 flat. So take us through. Did you have to move your line based on tires, or is it just something where you let off a little earlier when you knew the tires were going to go? Talk to us about how that really works.
A little bit. I knew the bottom was a little tighter early on, so I didn't want to run it too much and wear the right front too much. But my main goal was to keep the right rear on it. If I could have that drive center off while everyone else was pushing up the track center off of the corner, that I could get underneath people and make passes that way on the front stretch. That's where you wanted to go for it. So, I mean, I changed it a little bit. I saw them all running the top early, so I kind of had to follow just in case. I didn't want to be the only guy running the bottom, and then turns out the bottom's the one that wears the tires more, so I just fall back. So you kind of have to mimic them a little bit. I kind of try to go middle ground and found that middle lane to be really good, and it was a really good passing opportunity because I could enter a little high, back up the corner a little, and then just get power off and get underneath people, and it worked out for sure. That's for sure.
Well, you have clearly shown that in the Elite Entertainment Cup Series, you're a driver to mess with, and not not only in that, but also in tonight with the All-Star race, $200 richer. Any shout outs you would like to give out before you go and celebrate?
Yeah, everyone at Solar Flare Racing. I was hoping I'd have a teammate in here. Tyler Sifford was really close. He came very, very close. He was on the bumper of I think it was Paul Irvin that won the Open, and he just was short of the fan vote. But it was fun either way. I was getting coached by Tyler Nichols, my brother. He was just keeping an eye on lap times and helping me out. And we had Dwayne there too, trying his hardest in the Open. But thanks to them, thanks to everyone in the area and all the sponsors that help us put this race on and all these races on each and every week. And thanks to you guys for being here and broadcasting. And hopefully we put on a show out there. I know it was clean and green for a while, but there was some good racing for sure throughout.
Oh, absolutely. We'll let you go and celebrate that. Have a good night, and we'll see you back on Monday.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
That was our All-Star race winner, Jake Nichols. And now we'll bring up our second place finisher, Alan Balancino, all the way from the All-Star Open into the All-Star race. Coming home P2. This is Hunter, Ken, and Jesse in the booth. Got a copy?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. I mean, we noticed that you had a fast car in the Open. Was wondering if it would transition into the All-Star race, and it looked like it did just that. Although you ran more of the outside-ish group, we still saw you on the bottom. How different, if there was any difference in the Open between the race conditions?
Yeah, I think the car was 10 times tighter in the Open race. Honestly, the car was a lot easier to just drive in this race right here. Way looser, just let me just hook the bottom way more. It was much better conditions. I don't know what the weather difference was, if you guys know that, but it was just much better to drive.
So the track temp did go up as the race went on. I think at one point, what was the track temp? 113 or 115 or something like that. We saw.
It was 122 in the Open, so only
there you
went up
go.
2 degrees to 124.
So it did go up. Yeah, it did go up. And I'm glad Hunter asked it that way. I was going to ask you. So in the Open, short brief run, you were talking about it when we interviewed before. So longer run. It all went green. Did it give you time to kind of work on your location, work on where you wanted to put the car? You seem to be pretty solid throughout the entire race, but what was it more than anything else that really helped in the Open? Or in the big race. I'm sorry, in the big race. I apologize.
Oh, in the big race? Honestly, I was just pacing myself way differently. I slowed it way down in this race. There was no reason to push because Atlanta is notorious for eating the tires. And the car was, it was a much different driving condition with this car. And I was trying to pass those guys, which is what Ryan and Alan, which really kind of held me up, I think, because I think I was going to go by them if it was, a little bit different. And it was just a lot of racing going on. But I think I saved my stuff pretty decently there. It was just me just trying to be disciplined in the car, keeping it on the bottom and everything, and trying not to burn it up.
Well, Jesse, any questions for our second place finisher?
No, I mean, I think my biggest question is, and again, this is just also kind of me genuinely understanding iRacing, but is there anything in particular that you were able to take away from this run in Atlanta that you'll probably, add to that notebook and use moving forward? Or is this All-Star race really just an animal of its own?
I mean, honestly, maybe the tire saving. It's been a while since I've driven Atlanta like this. Just keeping the car from under me, really. I mean, trying not to burn the car off really is the biggest thing in iRacing, I think. And trying not to kill the tires too much is really it. Name of the game, honestly.
All right, well, you had a good run in the Open, and it obviously translated into the All-Star race. Congrats on the solid second place finish. Any shout-outs you would like to give out before you go?
Yes, I do. I'd like to shout out Pazika's Motorsports, Magyar Bank, Eat Sleep Race, NIA, DeLeo Bram, and Martin Sports, and Tranquility Motorsports as well.
All right, well, we'll let you go, and congrats once again on the second place finish.
Thanks.
That was second place finisher Alan Balancino. Now we'll bring up the second Alan. Got two Alans filling out the podium. This one being Alan Elwood, and he's got great paint schemes all the way around, just like this Rhino paint scheme that we see. Solid P3 there, Alan. Hunter, Ken, and Jesse in the booth. Got a copy?
I got you guys.
All right. Well, we saw you were dominating the first half of the race. It was you, Ryan Hartz, Brad Slaughter, and the 70 of Balancino. But then the second half, it was Jake Nichols that kind of slowly crept in and got in on you guys. But nonetheless, you saw the fast car. What was the race like in the first half compared to the second half?
Oh, first half was a lot of fun. I worked my way up to the front, and then you just had to hold the high side because the bottom was really tough to pass. And I made it work in just enough time with the tires that it just got to where it was so difficult on the bottom. So I kind of lucked out in that regard, but I knew I did, if I didn't put it in the wall, I was going to be set until we decided when we were going to pit. And then, of course, I slid through my box by just the slightest of margin, which put me behind Balancino. And then coming out of the pits, I was like, well, if I try to save my tires a little bit like Jake did, maybe I can make a run here in the second half of the race. But Jake just, he's been in Coke Series for a reason. He's really smooth. The guy's a great driver. And once you get him out front in clean air, especially with not really having much lap traffic or anything to go through, he's not probably going to make a mistake. And even saving your tires, the way the track was tonight, you're probably not going to catch him. So I tried, but just not enough.
Jesse, what do you got for him?
What do I have for him? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, She fell asleep, Alan. Just fell asleep. It happens, when
it does. It's a late hour. It's okay.
It's past my bedtime, y'all. No,
Okay.
I didn't fall asleep. I guess my question though is in analyzing this race overall, is there anything that you probably would have done any differently, especially when you look at those last pit strategy, last maybe 20 laps or so?
I mean, I don't think so. I think I pit at the right time. I could have maybe waited another lap or two, but I felt like my right front was going to explode if I didn't pit. So I was like, well, I got to go ahead and come in now and hope that maybe I can somehow get back in front of Balancino. But then, of course, like I said, I slid through my pit. So I don't know. I guess if anything different, I wouldn't have made that mistake. But I think I made the right call. Just the execution wasn't 100% there.
Well, I don't get to talk to you much, Alan, but I do talk to you in the chats, and you follow us throughout racing and everything like that. Glad to finally get a chance to kind of do that. So for me, twofold race. Certainly at the beginning, you had a strong car. At the end, of course, as you said, sometimes just a little slightest thing. What do you take away as an overall experience? It's an all-star race. You're out there with some of the best that there are. What do you take away from just doing that? Just being out with a good group of guys and having a good time?
Well, I think first and foremost is you race with guys you don't normally get to race with, because of course you guys know I only race one night a week.
Yep.
And I don't get to race with Jake, and I don't get to race with Balancino, I believe, this season. So racing against guys like that and racing just against the league in general, you get the best of the best the area has to offer in this race tonight, for the most part. And so you just kind of see where you stack up, and in a different car, it puts everybody on a level playing field that not everybody's used to this season. So I think just from that aspect, it's a good experience to see where you're at, and try to figure out where you can improve, and hopefully take that and move it on to the series that you're racing, and keep the momentum up.
Awesome.
Well, congrats on the third place finish. Had a solid run there all the way around. Any shout outs you would like to give out before you go?
Just tonight, appreciate first and foremost Jake and everybody area for putting on the All-Star race. I'm glad that we could do this one-off event this season, kind of getting away from the monotony of the season. So appreciate Jake and everybody for putting that on. You guys here in the booth, appreciate Jesse for joining us tonight. And then, of course, everybody at Elwood Design Esports, all the guys tonight. We put our best foot forward and hope that we could come out with a win. Didn't quite get it done, but it's all good. And then just thank the sponsors here with the team: Rhino, Reaper, High Banks Podcast, Heatwave Designs, Elwood Designs, Life of a Sim Racer, everybody, Roderick Development, just everybody that's with the team this season. And had fun tonight, and can't wait to get back at it next week.
I'll say they knew you were out there. Congrats once again on the third place run. Have a good night.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks.
All right, that was third place finisher Alan Elwood, but we'll get the finishing results for the rest of the field. So Jake Nichols won, Balancino and Elwood second and third. Just talked to them a few moments ago. Danny Weir and Garrett Grant rounding out the top five. Ryan Hart's P6, David Weishart P7, Brad Slaughter, James Scioli, and Davey Hendricks rounding out the top 10.
At 11th, you got Dominic DeLeo, Eric Wineland coming in 12th, Paul Irvin, Swervin Irvin coming in 13th, Gary Lewis, birthday boy, 14th. Shane Wolf in 15th, and Shane Therian had a bad night early on, finishing in 16th.
Alrighty, well, lady and gentlemen and the Lord above, what were your final thoughts on that race?
Excuse me while I exhale. I think I finally have the hang of this. If you guys want to get going here, I think I finally know what I'm doing. So,
Oh, you ready to start a race now? Okay.
I'm ready to go. I have the hang of this iRacing thing, so let's get going.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, I can't speak for Harold, but you're welcome to join me in a booth anytime you want. We'll have I have a feeling we'd have a blast. I don't know how much racing we'd talk, but we certainly would talk a lot. And it was I really enjoyed having you out. So it was a cool race.
Oh, indeed it was. Oh, sorry, go on.
Great. No, for as long of a green flag as we saw, I still thought we saw, like you guys said, a lot of great talent and a lot of great racing. I'm very, very impressed with what we've seen tonight.
Well, it is the best of the best from all three area iRacing leagues, in which you can catch our next broadcast on Monday night. It's going to be the Elite Entertainment Cup Series. They'll be going to Gateway along with the CNC Logging Truck Series on Tuesday night. But then the following Thursday, the Lodgebox Series will be taking their chance at the Rock. They'll be going to Rockingham, so that'll be an interesting one. And you can catch it all on the Area iRacing Twitch channel. And that'll do it from us. From everyone up here in the booth to executive producer Harold Darner, Ken Kushwa, Jesse Punch, I'm Hunter Slappy saying so long, and we'll see you on Monday.
What an exciting race brought to you by Wendigo Studios. Here they come out of turn 4 to the white flag, and it's 1 to go. Thank you to all our sponsors, drivers, and viewers. We'll see you at the next turn.